Yep.
Really?
He's like,
he's red rocketing. He's got the red rocket.
oh, he's red rocketing.
Is he?
Oh,
Is he?
He's so confused
red
sexually right now.
rocketing.
He's not sure if he wants to mate.
He's about to pee on you right now,
He's
Jose.
like, bro, you picked me up. Now finish it.
The fucking dream team.
And hey guys, welcome to episode 7 of the SNP podcast. I want to introduce ourselves. I'm Kevin, aka Kev Wild on Twitch, and then we got Dave.
What's up?
And then we got Jose,
What it is?
and then we have Sergio coming back again.
What's going on, guys?
Our guest. Oh, we're getting a little wrecked over here.
Yeah. So we got a few good subjects. Today's is gonna be a kind of a special between entertainment and I would probably say video games. And we got the Division 2. I'm gonna be bringing that up. We're gonna be recapping on Infinity War. Gonna be talking about Notre Dame, like the cathedral burning.
Fucking
Yeah,
football
the
team.
Spire.
Those pieces of shit.
And yeah, so let's get started. I never gave a review on the Division 2, but I think it's probably one of the games in a long while that came out where the first or the release of it was good. Like I enjoyed the entire time playing, and I'm still addicted to playing it right now. What do you guys think about that, considering we've been let down so many times with a lot of these entries like Anthem and all that? Like,
I mean, to be honest, the game didn't really captivate me that much.
because you didn't play it at all.
I played it a good amount, actually. And what I was more thrown back by was like my best friend's obsession with me being best friends with him online. And I'm like, dude, I do that all the time. Why don't you just leave me alone for a little bit? It played well. The mechanics played well. I feel like it was not broken at launch, right? I mean, besides every day, every launch has bugs at the beginning, but it's like they got rid of that pretty quick.
Mm-hmm.
It seems pretty captivating, like the gameplay does. And I mean, what is there left in the world then? Like a good shooter, loot grabber out there? I mean, I don't know much about the story, so can you elaborate a little on that for everyone?
Well, I don't know. Basically, it's just pulling in from the first game, where the first game talked about there was an epidemic in New York, but now they moved the escape for 3 years after the first game, and it's in Washington, D.C. And then the Division plus the Joint Task Force, which is like all the branches of the military combined together, they're trying to retake Washington, D.C. under their control, for the people, because kind of everyone's gone crazy. Right now, people are in limbo because they're waiting for the end game content, which is the raids.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's
Kind of pushed back, right?
yeah, so there's supposed to be raids where it's 8 man, so it takes 8 people to clear.
So right
raid.
now, what you have right now, what is it? Is it like a 3-man or 4-man group?
Yeah, 4-man groups, and you kind of just go through strongholds and stuff like that. You're just trying to get your gear better.
Beer money.
Yeah.
Beer money.
Try to get your gear better.
I know.
To build up for that raid.
Yeah,
So now we're just waiting on that content.
yeah. So it got pushed back like a week. It was supposed to come out this week,
Yeah.
but it is getting pushed back a week,
know,
probably because they want to balance out a few issues before it, and I can respect that. Like,
Yeah, I would rather have that though. I'd rather have a game developer take their time and make sure that the patch is up and make sure that the raid is actually going to be able to run. How many instances have we had where like video game companies just try to release it and they don't really like prepare as much? I mean, you see that shit like with like World of Warcraft. Every time they have an expansion or like a big dungeon or raid that they're gonna bring out, sometimes it doesn't work as right. Sometimes the server's kind of laggy. I mean, I know we've seen many video games where they get these setbacks, especially when they first launch updates and so
yeah. So I mean, I think it's totally fine that they're pushing it back a week just so they can smooth out some things. What do you think?
Would somebody joining in now have the ability to kind of catch up to everyone?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's me right now. Actually, I was actually since I don't know if you guys can see on the camera, but my arm is broken, and I've been playing Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. I finally completed it maybe a couple weeks ago, but I've now been jumping on the Division, and I'm trying to catch up. It's actually pretty fun once you get a group of friends to play with. It's regular shooter looter.
Yeah.
It's fun.
Yeah, so the way that they compensated to catch up with your friends and whatnot, so if you have friends who are higher level than you, you actually get more experience for doing any of the missions with them. So it'll be harder for you, but you get more experience for it to catch up faster.
Yeah, like when we would jump on your game or whatever, oh my God, I like leveled up like five levels like in
5
that
levels
one
in
run.
30 minutes.
Yeah.
Is it like a multiplier
It's
kind of thing?
It's a multiplayer. It's
No, like is it like there's a multiplier on like XP if you're playing with somebody that's higher level?
Yeah.
Okay.
yeah.
Oh,
So this is
that's
very
pretty
similar to like when you were a sophomore and then a senior would take you to a party. So then like
That's exactly what it's like.
That's what it is.
so all the juniors would like totally not throw drinks at you or throw you in the garbage can like they used to. I like this a lot. I think this is repressing some memories.
They should use that as like a sales metaphor.
Oh yeah.
And so let's move on. We got Infinity War recap. So we all watched Infinity War, at least part 1.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
Well,
correct.
or Infinity War is the
Yes.
the part. I feel the last movie that came out that everyone was a big part of. The follow up to that would be like Captain Marvel, which is like the continuation of the universe, right?
It's almost kind of like a prequel too, right? Because it goes
in a
back in
sense.
time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So
You're setting it up for the new movie.
So the recap on that is like we leave Infinity War, and at this point, spoiler alert, like if you haven't seen it, we're literally a week away from watching the next movie. But the world is decimated. I feel like, well, actually, also Ant-Man and the Wasp was happening just as that movie was happening, right?
Yeah.
Because there was like, or right before that happened, and then there was like a little bit of follow up in the
post-credit?
credit scene, post credit
Yeah.
scene to like an illusion that it happened as that happened.
As it was going down, yeah.
Yeah, but so we're in a spot where like the world is kind of ruined. I mean, there's a lot of the superheroes that will leave nameless, like are gone, they're dead, and only a select few of them are left over. And now everyone's wondering how they're going to get back and destroy Thanos, or even just seek a little bit of vengeance on that. Like, do they know they're going to be able to reverse it at this point? No one really
and to
does.
see if characters are actually going to come out. Like you see the Hulk that never came out in Infinity. I mean, he did, but he never came out and fought really.
Right.
So is he going to come back? Are we going to see the Green Giant again? Like,
Yeah.
I do feel like the trailer for Homecoming, or what is it?
Far From Home?
Yeah. I kind of ruined everything though. Like you see Spider-Man coming back, it's like, wait, what the?
Yeah, it's one
That
character.
dude's supposed
though.
to be dead. What the fuck?
Yeah, but everyone kind of knew he would be coming back in one sense or another. I mean, here's the thing. He does go away at the end of the series. Everyone knows that that's not the end, right? At the end, it says that this isn't the end. Like, it will continue. Like, there's going to be a second part to this, right? And there's no way that Tony Stark is going to be left alive at the end of that series, because if you all remember, I mean, the craziest part was that there's a part in the movie where Doctor Strange says that he would never relinquish the time stone to Thanos ever, right? Because he's the one that's supposed to protect that against all odds, right? So why would he willingly give up that stone when he sees Thanos about to kill Tony Stark? Why? Because one of the realities he sees them winning in, if not the only one they see winning in, is because Tony Stark is kind of leading the charge on that. So for him to die, he knows that he needs to prevent that from happening, right? So like, you can tell even at the end that the only reason that's even ending is because Doctor Strange stopped it from happening. Because he could have just teleported away with that. Like, he didn't really need to even stay during that last battle they had. So, I mean, you're going to find yourself in a point where it's like, all right, what was the end game here? What was the end game to that move? Like, where did we find ourselves? What is Doctor Strange protecting everyone from, so they have the chance to pursue one of the, I don't know if he said 10,000 endings that he saw.
no, he said millions.
Millions?
He said he had like so many outcomes, and like out of all of them, like it was like one or two. I don't know what it was. But yeah, the outcome was like very slim.
Damn. So I mean, it's gonna be a super exciting movie. Everyone's like losing their minds to go see this next week. I mean,
Yes.
I mean that's gonna be one.
I'm going blank minded. I don't know. I don't know what to expect. At the same time, obviously, you want all the hair just to come back and kick ass, but you never know if they get hold of that gauntlet. Ooh, that'd be dope.
Of the one of the most popular theories out there right now is definitely the Thanos. Like
Thanos.
The Thanos. Yeah, it's
the
called
Thanos theory.
The
Hashtag Thanosgate.
Yeah.
Why? Can you guys elaborate? I've never heard of this.
Okay, so a lot of
We'll elaborate that ass.
a lot of the memes online is basically Ant-Man is gonna go in Thanos's anus and he'll expand it there, and that's how the Avengers will win. Yeah.
By him blowing through his body, but anyone online has also pointed out that you can definitely go through any of his other crevices, like his nose, his ears, his mouth.
Definitely.
Like there's no reason to specifically go through his ass.
It has to be the ass.
It
man.
has to be. That's the one thing that
the booty
everyone's
like the
super
groceries,
stoked to see it. I mean,
Why not the dick hole? That shit would hurt. Now you're proving a point.
Yeah. I mean, theoretically, an all-knowing figure like Thanos at that point, like he has all the stones that would kind of let him including the time stone that would let him see all the foreseeable.
Wait, it lets him see.
That's what Doctor Strange did with it.
But can we all agree though that this movie would have been over if
Star-Lord.
Oh, wasn't it?
Star-Lord, yeah.
Peter
Like
Quill screwed everything
he's
up.
like, you fuck.
But maybe Star-Lord was the only one that made it a reality for them to be able to beat it.
Oh, you're right.
I mean,
There was like all those memes that were like throwing shade at Peter Quill. It was like saying all this crap. Like,
well, there's like another one that like they also say like, why are y'all blaming like Peter for like essentially ruining the end of Infinity War when all he did was guarantee you another 3-hour movie, and then everyone's like, oh, you right? No, you're right. No.
Thanks, Peter Quill.
That's funny.
Thanks, Star-Lord.
I mean, I'm super stoked for it. I mean, so another thing that I feel like I'm super just excited to see in all, and I mean, I feel like this isn't a spoiler. I feel like this is gonna happen. I feel it in my heart, but I feel like we might see Tony Stark. Iron Man might go in this one.
I think.
That's a pretty
Really?
Yeah.
I want to say that Captain America's going to go.
Yeah, it's in between those two, right?
I have Captain America's leaving.
really.
Yeah, not only
Wasn't
that,
it in the
because
comics? That's
in the
what
comic
happened?
books, I believe he dies. Bucky takes over, but that's just me. I believe. Don't quote me on this, but I believe that's what happened.
I'm
In
gonna
the
quote you
comic.
on that. You said that out loud. You quoted. What do you think, Kevin?
Like between the two of them, who's gonna die? Or
But what do you think the outcome of that is? Do you
Yeah,
think somebody's going to die. People are going to die.
I think
die?
it's going to be Tony Stark, because if you remember in the past few movies and whatnot, he was just afraid of dying. Remember? If you watched
With the whole, yeah, that is true. I mean, he did save himself. He created this, arc.
nano suit.
React.
Even like character development kind of suggests that too, because right before in the beginning of Infinity War, isn't he like talking about having a kid and like right?
Yeah.
Remember that?
So
said that
he would
was-
have the most to sacrifice personally, I guess.
Right.
Being so ready to marry, so ready to have a child, so ready to just give up the life altogether. Because I mean, at the end of Iron Man 3, that's what he did, right? He gave up the suit. He gave up everything. I mean, but now we find ourselves in a situation where like, I think they're going to reverse it somewhere or another. They're going to bring some of the characters back, obviously, because there's going to be another
still
Spider-Man.
like a big line of characters that are not dead. I mean, you got like the raccoon is still alive.
Raccoon.
The
Rocket
Rocket?
Yeah,
The
Rocket.
Rocket? He has a name, bro.
Trash Panda.
Nailed it. Rocket. Let's see. They have. Well, Black Panther died. I thought I was pretty not excited to see that.
Yeah.
How are they gonna diss
What
my
about
boy?
Groot, man?
Groot's dead. Yes,
that shit
super
hit
sad.
me
that is-
hard.
dude.
Yeah.
Groot is sad.
Yeah, I know. And then
Bucky's
fucking-
dead. I was kind of excited about that because I guess a page.
Dude.
Didn't Black Panther die?
Yeah, he totally did. That's what I
Yeah.
said.
I'm sorry.
Thor just got his ass beat, right? He didn't die.
Thor got his ass whooped, but
He came back with the
he's
fucking
probably-
dope
he's-
weapon, and
yeah.
he's like,
He's probably
Hey,
of the ones that are still alive. I think he's probably the powerhouse at this point.
I think
and
so,
now
too.
Captain Marvel, right?
Yeah.
Captain Marvel.
What about my boy Hulk? What's going on with him, man?
dude?
Dude,
He's got.
I feel like
dysfunction.
him
He's not coming
and-
out, man.
Dude.
He's, he's not coming out to play.
He's fighting.
he doesn't want to come
Dude,
out to
he's fighting depression right now. That's
Yeah.
what's going on.
You know, so here's a theory to throw out there for you guys. So the big thing with I've been talking to my coworker Matt about this for a while because I thought it was a little elusive, right, to put Hulk in that one Infinity War trailer where he's like charging with everyone.
Oh yeah, and they just
But
completely
not-
take him out.
But he was not part of that at all, right? So I think that's
Yeah.
part of future footage now, where that's going to happen now, and they're going to rewind it to have that be one of the realities that happens. Here's another one.
Oh, that's a good one.
It's like honey dicking to the max.
I know. So here's another one. So there's now the separation of Hulk in his entirety, like his psyche from Bruce Banner, right? And somebody said that there's going to be like a reality where Bruce Banner and the Hulk join and become essentially like a smart, like Hulk.
Vegito.
Yeah,
Or it's just one person. The intellectualness of Bruce Banner with like the powers of the Hulk. So it's like imagine a more focused, like strong Hulk. And that's like one of the realities that they could see panning out too.
Yeah.
I
Or like a
mean,
different type
That's pretty
of Hulk.
exciting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Imagine Kevin, right? Super smart, right? Ready to take on the world. But imagine him and then his weak body just expanding to a stronger, fucking fit, ready to kill anyone body. But you could never imagine. Just imagine
I
that.
check off to that.
Yeah.
Whatever
Fat
happened.
material.
that's fat material if I ever heard it.
Whatever happened. So Gamora's dead, right? Like she's
Gamora is
just like
she
dead.
died. She
got
died pre.
sacrificed.
Sorry, little one.
She died
That
pre the
shit,
dust.
Dude, that's sad, actually.
That was rough,
Then I was like,
Dust and
sorry,
wind.
sorry,
Yeah.
baby girl.
AKA the grapes of wrath, the dust bowl of two. Dead.
Spider-Man's dead.
Her father.
That was probably another little teary moment.
That was rough. Yeah.
Yeah. Who else is dead? No, Peter.
Peter. So is it true or is it not true that he improvised that scene where he says like, I don't feel so good, Mr. Stark?
Yeah, I think so. I, read
I think
about that too.
he improvised that scene. But when that happened in theaters, I think it was next, like it was me and my two cousins, right?
Yeah.
And not seeing who was next to me, I think I reached to grab someone that wasn't actually with us. And they were like,
It would have been funny if they were like, I know.
I know.
I
I'm so sorry about that. It was like, it's so much, but it's like I needed to hold someone because it hurt me that hard. Yeah, I thought that was great.
never
No.
understood that. I don't know. I didn't
think
feel
I
that
think
at
it was
all.
improvised. I think it hurt.
No,
I
but like
feel-
even when he died, I was just like, he's gonna come back. Why is
Well, it's
everybody
not-
crying?
no,
Not
you're already
that, but
thinking that way.
it's
But
like,
like,
when do
Tony
you-
Stark
but-
didn't think that though.
Not only that,
that-
but when do you
that
perceive
hurt.
a superhero as like, I don't want to die? You know, you never see that like
Yeah.
in that perspective.
That wasn't enough for me.
So in
To, like,
Spider-Man
get emotional.
Homecoming, that was one of the big things that he told him to be a responsible like superhero and like kind of took ownership of the fact that if like Spider-Man died, he would have to explain to his
Right.
hands
Maybe I didn't
You
think
know?
about that.
Yeah.
that he basically
He's
got,
still a kid.
yeah,
He's still in
He's
high
start
school
crying
and
right
then,
now.
you know,
teenager. Yeah, I start crying and just bust out his tears.
I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
he's kicking ass. He's like 13 years old and shit. Dies.
Dies.
You're like, I don't care.
yeah. 13-year-olds die in the street every day, man. I was like, why are you talking to me like this? Bro. So I listened to this album, and then Aunt May is like staring at him and hands him like NWA. Straight out of Compton is like, listen to these men. They talk about the shit all the time.
This is real shit.
All right, moving on.
Notre Dame or Dame. How do you say it? Dave, you're
Notre
French.
Dame. What?
I believe it's in Notre Dame.
About that spire burning down and
The whole
whatnot.
fucking shebang board
Yeah.
burning down, right?
So with the spire, so that happened this past week, but with the spire, I guess it was due to faulty 12th century electrical
Yeah,
is,
the
is what
electrical, right?
caused
That's what they're
it.
saying.
Yeah. So that's what caused it.
Now, was it
or
getting
caused-
renovated? Is that what?
Well, I guess they're trying to rebuild it. So I guess a bunch of rich people decided
Hey,
they gave like
rich
600.
people, man? Why are you doing that to people? They're better off.
Dude,
Don't call them rich.
they are
They have
rich.
feelings too.
Hey, listen, man. If you give more than $1 million, you're definitely rich.
Doesn't the Vatican have like $30 billion or something?
Actually, let's backtrack to this fact. Couldn't have handled this? They could have handled this themselves.
Yeah, they could have. To be
I
honest,
swear to God,
I
they
don't
said
know.
this. Never
I
mind.
don't know. But let's just say the fact that they've gotten over like 600 million, I think.
Yeah, you're right. I think.
Yeah,
on that.
600 million towards fixing it back up. And I'm just like,
within days, right? Not even. Days.
yeah. It was just like within days of it happening, or like the day after. Because I know it was, I think Selma Hayek.
Yeah, I've seen like a lot of actors, a lot of
Yes.
like wealthy people have like decided that they're gonna donate to rebuild this
Yeah.
basically historic.
Well, it's
landmark.
iconic. I mean, it's that's one of the.
That's 700
main-
years of like history there.
Yeah,
I saw the Twitter post. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
It was so funny how it was like, oh, it's so. I think it was something along the lines of like, oh, it's so funny that they raised this much money for this cause. And they're like, why not raise that for the people that need water in Flint, Michigan, or the people that are starving and this and this and that. And then she's like, why waste it on a building? I'm pretty sure God doesn't care about buildings and cares more about people.
Right.
I was just like, damn.
damn.
That is true.
Kind of raising some good points.
But then,
But I understand both sides.
That's why I said it's another point too. It's like, with the French government having their own uprising too, with people with the yellow jacket movement and the protest. I don't know if you.
Oh
guys heard
yeah,
of that.
The basically the re-upbringing of the French Revolution is what they've been.
Yeah, so
calling it.
basically they have this new
Excuse
French
us
president,
if sorry,
and he's
excuse us
proposing
if we're
to
butchering any of these facts, but yeah.
increase taxes on gas and multiple things. It is only going to
To
help
Stone
out
Cold
the 1% in France. So like they have been doing these protests and stuff and basically riots at this point. So
Oh yeah.
I wanted to bring up a fact that was like, oh, maybe what if this Notre Dame thing was just to kind of like, oh, let's overt to this story instead of, this. But that's just a little,
Oh, that's like a little bit of like 9/11 theory. And
a little conspiracy theory.
Oh, I do want to
To
detract
throw it
a
out
little
there.
bit.
I don't know, guys. What do you guys think about it? What do you guys think about the whole, Notre Dame thing? Do you guys think that it was something that we lost? Is it going to be something that we're going to be able to rebuild to what it was? I mean, obviously, probably not. But
Speaking of the rebuilding.
Wait, before that, actually, I know. No, I do want you to go on that subject, but before that, like at the same day, a mosque, like the big main one in the Middle East, was also on fire on the same day. It wasn't talked about as much as the cathedral, but
because of the rich, yeah.
no, but it was the same day. It was due to electrical as well. It didn't burn down as bad as the cathedral did, but there was like smoke all over the place.
just imagine just having all that, like that really, really old building. I'm sure it has a whole bunch of like things that can go on fire, like paint. I don't know what they used back then, but I'm sure it was like very like,
Gasoline.
yeah, like flammable and stuff. You never know what's on there. Have you not seen those cathedrals where there's paintings like literally all over the
Well, I've
ceiling?
actually been to Notre Dame, and it's glorious. It was beautiful.
Did you? Is
Yeah.
that when you went to
This is
Poland?
the height of
Poland.
civilization.
Yeah, I went to
Nice.
Paris right afterwards. But
Is that when you were like?
it was one of the first things I saw. I mean, one of the most outstanding facts about that is the fact that like I always think about the first guy that started building it, and then they were like, "Oh, this thing's gonna be pretty fucking dope," dude. And it was like, "Oh, I can't wait for that." And it's like 700 years later, so like not even would your children see it, but not even your children.
Wait, are you talking about that they took,
when it
wasn't it
started-
170?
No, it was
It was
like
700
it
years
was
to build.
almost like 700 years of building. Fact check me. Fact
I
check
thought
me
it was
right
like
now.
170.
I don't want to be spreading misinformation. on this
but
one.
it's like imagine this: like you're born, you think you're gonna see the end of this building, right?
Well, yeah. So
And-
imagine like being a slave in the pyramids. Like, I'm gonna watch this be built, and then you die and you
gonna
never
watch-
see.
Oh no, he's right. It took 643 years.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy crap!
Wow.
So it's not even you or your children. It's like 6 generations almost.
No, not
More.
even 6. I mean, if you back
20
in the days,
years is a
that's, yeah, that's like
generation.
30 years was the life expectancy, right?
So 20 years, we'll
yeah.
just say, is a generation.
yeah, it's 20 years a generation, so 5 generations per year. So
Yeah, you're looking at multiple generations.
all right, quick math over that one, but it's like, but he just multiplies like multiples. But if you're looking at it just like 20 years, so that'd be 5 per year, and then how many generations after that? That'd be like at least
1 million years later.
1 million years later. I can't even do math.
2,000 generations later.
I mean, it would be like about 40 generations, right?
Yeah.
I mean, round it out, like 40 generations of people. So not even your children's children. Like nobody would see it to the end. But now, even those children can say that like we are not going to see the new Notre Dame Cathedral because like now we have a chance to see the newest one. I was talking to my girlfriend about this, kind of like super silly to think about that. We can see. I saw one version of the Notre Dame Cathedral, but now
another one.
My generations past us will be able to see a newer one. So that's kind of, even though it's kind of sad, but it is comforting to know like, all right, it progresses again. Much like everything else will. Like there will be newer. Now it's like who in our generation would be able to see that we saw the Twin Towers, but now people have the chance to see the Freedom Tower. So I mean, different generations, different times.
Kind of surprised that the kids wanted to continue. They're like, "What do you want to do today, man?" Like, "Hey, man, how about you finish that fucking?"
Yeah, right.
Nah, I ain't gonna finish that shit.
That shit happened 700 years ago, man. I ain't gonna finish that shit.
But yeah, speaking about rebuilding it, so Assassin's Creed Unity is actually being given out for free by Ubisoft in commemoration of the video game, or in commemoration of the building, the cathedral. And Dave, you wanted to bring up how they were going to use.
Oh yeah, because they did the 3D mapping to make the game because they went all like super in depth. They did like 3D mapping for the whole city and all that, and they're going to use those mapping, whatever
principles,
blueprints or whatever, to like rebuild it. But it's kind of funny because there were certain areas that they didn't let them in. So now that's just lost forever. So it's kind of like karma. Kind of like, well, you didn't let us go in there, bro.
Yeah.
And they're like, damn, we didn't let him in.
Because I assume
we didn't let him in, dude.
You don't understand. If no one sees this shit, ain't no one gonna know about this.
Right, baby.
AKA, get the fuck out.
No, it's funny too because like in the news reports, they're like, oh yeah, they got sophisticated 3D mapping to rebuild it, this and that. And I'm like, they're not even mentioning that's from Assassin's Creed. Like they don't want to mention that. They're like
it's from a video game. They're gonna completely overrule this. Like it's from a video game. It's
like
completely inaccurate.
Minor note here, it's from a video game in 2000 whatever. Okay,
anyways, that was one of the worst selling in the franchise, but
that's the worst selling game ever.
That's one game I would have to say. Me and Kevin have. I mean, I love Assassin's Creed. I think it's a great franchise.
Remember when I first played it? We were at the Bulls game. We were at your cousin's house. I stayed up till like 3 a.m. playing that shit. And you're like, dude, you still playing that? I'm like, it's amazing.
It's amazing. It's the greatest game ever. But when me and Kevin played Unity, I remember I bought it on console and he bought it on PC.
No, I got it for free on PC.
Hey, I said you played it on PC. I didn't say free or not. But he was so disappointed in it. He was just like, this sucks. Yeah. It was just like conceptually the climbing and everything was better for it. I thought it was like a great game, but it's like once you got into the missions and saw it break down, it's like this is so empty. It's like you just crafted
there was just a bunch of bullshit in that game is what I was thinking.
Is this the game that's free?
Yeah, I just got it.
Guys, download the game. It's free right now, guys.
When's the deadline? Like this
I think is it this weekend?
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed Unity is free on Uplay. Check it out.
I think it's free for like 10 more days.
Dope.
I got
check it out, guys. If you guys watch this video, hit that link. You get a free game.
Let's see. Yeah, so when it came to that game, it's just I thought it was beautiful. Like it was probably one of the like considering if you went back from like Black Flag, which was the game before it, and then you went to Unity, the game looked gorgeous. Looking at the city, the landscapes was amazing.
Of all the Assassin's Creed, have you played all of them? I have Syndicate. I haven't played it yet.
I don't have Origins, but I have Odyssey. Odyssey is gorgeous.
Has anybody played all of them?
I have the first one. I've never played anything else.
What?
I just downloaded the Unity, but I'll give that a try.
Damn, we're in the same boat.
I have all of them.
Let's talk after the podcast in private.
I have all the games except for Origin, but Odyssey I probably would say is one of the best ones.
Have you played Black Flag? I heard that one was like.
Oh yeah, well yeah, that one is like one of the most. That's one of the most fun ones. But I'm just talking about in terms of
storyline.
Well, not even like storyline. It's just So you know how like ambitious they were in Unity and stuff like that, and like Origins and whatnot. Basically, it took whatever they messed up on those older games, and they made a really good one. Like, so in the old ones, like, oh, you only get the city, like the city of France and stuff like that in Unity, right?
Right.
Well, in this one, you get the entire Mediterranean. Like, you get all of Greece.
Really? It's like huge?
Dude, the map is huge. It's huge.
So it's
Dude,
not
is it-
historically accurate anymore. Is that what I've seen those memes where it's like it's not historic, like that they're using like random weapons. Like what was it that one game? I don't know what Assassin's Creed it was where they took the crossbow out because it wasn't historically accurate.
In what game? The first one?
Was it the first one or was
The
it
first one had crossbows in it, and they wanted to take it out.
No, they did take them out. I want to
Really?
say yes.
That's bullshit, man.
Because it wasn't historically accurate.
That's kind of cool.
Any fucking peasant could have figured out that a fucking bow and arrow is just a crossbow.
Right?
Dude, I could have figured that shit out.
Right?
Talking to a guy that's never invented anything in his pure life before. Yeah, I could have figured that
But
shit
now that I
out,
see
dude.
like, because I have seen gameplay footage
I
of,
actually like the games being a little historically accurate.
Especially that one, like where they kind of like the whole storyline is like you go into your DNA and go back in time and like gotta check out like the real shit, you know?
Right.
So it's kind of like, well, might as well make it real.
that is true. Because I mean, technically you're going back into your
Even though like
memories, right?
parkour was probably like not even common back in the day.
Yeah.
But
Um,
so cool.
Wait.
He flies
Burn that man.
It would have burned him so quick.
I do want to deviate a little bit though, with Assassin's Creed Origins, which was based in Egypt, in ancient Egypt.
They have a crossbows in that one?
No.
All right.
They have their own version. So rather than just like buying the video game, they have an educational version.
What?
So where you can go in and you can run around, and it provides little factual tidbits and stuff
Damn.
like that. So I think that is very cool to use a video game platform
That would be badass, yeah.
to educate history to students.
It's cool because you get like a visual too.
Well, yeah, you get to like check out the world
Yeah,
in
and you're
ancient
like
Egypt
interacting with the environment that's there. I'm sure you get to read whatever it's like that's
and
on.
be like, "This is papyrus."
I was thinking about that too. I was like, for some reason, I was thinking about like Dora, like assume escuela. Like that would be so annoying.
God.
God
God,
damn.
yeah.
And
Seen
even
that
that
new
the
trailer,
pitch
though?
that you
Dude,
Yeah.
Did you guys see? Oh, you hold up. Did you guys see the new trailer for the Dora movie? Dude, did you see it?
Yeah.
Did you see it?
Yeah, it sucked.
I thought it looks good, dude.
Oh my
it looks funny.
God.
I thought it looked pretty funny. I mean, like not like good, like an amazing movie.
I'm going with it with an open mind.
Yeah,
'cause,
same here.
I mean, I
You
grew
guys
up
are
with Dora
going
and
to
stuff,
it at
but how-
all?
like
Because I'm not.
Maybe not go. I don't know, depending on how the ratings are, but I'll for sure rent it.
I'll still see it.
Because Derbez is in it, dude. I have to see it.
Yeah,
I love Derbez.
Their best is in it?
Oh, now. Oh, I thought you saw the
I
trailer,
saw a
bro.
teaser trailer for it, man. Maybe this was like a while ago. Is there an official out trailer?
Yeah. Looks funny, dude.
Yeah.
Check it out.
It's like pretty damn funny. And then the chick that
What?
plays her is the chick from Instant Family. The little girl. That little girl made me cry
Instant
my eyes
Family?
out in Instant Family. The movie that Tom Segura was in. Yeah, it was really good.
It's crazy.
She's a good actress.
Oh.
So I want to see this one. It looks pretty funny.
Yeah.
When I heard about it, I thought it was
Yeah,
stupid.
I'm going
and then I saw the
open minded
trailer.
because I mean, again, it's like how can you make a movie out of Dora?
Right.
I never really watched it. I watched it because my sister, she would love to watch it, and that's literally all the thing that was on the background.
Sorry, I just looked at him.
I have no excuse. I just watched it because I wanted to.
No,
go
yeah,
ahead.
no. Well, I mean, it was in the background, so it's like, what am I gonna watch?
I
And
know.
then like, all right, whatever.
Anything else?
Dude, it's Dora, bro.
It's Dora, and when your mom tells you, it's like in a Hispanic household, is like, don't leave it there because your sister, she's playing all right, and she's not making a mess or a fuss, so leave her be.
I used to hate it when they
Right?
Quiero ver Power Rangers.
Remember when Dora would ask questions and she'd just like stay there? She's like,
She
"What's
just-
your favorite part?"
Me too. I was like, what?
I was like, dude, what's her problem?
That was mine too. It's like, really? We're fucking friends, bro.
It's like, wow, she stays quiet just like I stay quiet. And then my dad's like,
Or you're talking back there. It's like, why are you talking back to fucking TV?
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
know.
what?
So my dad
They're asking
thought
me
I
a
had
question.
schizophrenia and I'm just talking to TVs by myself. All right.
No,
good.
but it's interesting.
And then you said that was part of this one, Endgame spoilers?
All right,
I didn't put that
let's
down.
Skip forward. Another
Oh,
one,
yeah. All right, so I do want to bring a deal in here. I don't know if it'll be active by the time this video is out, but I think it still will be. Lord of the Rings, Shadow of Mordor on fanatical.com. They're having a bundle for $5 where Shadow of Mordor and all of the DLC for $5. I played it. I think is a great game. I like the Nemesis system they had. So the Nemesis system is like, they're leaders of like,
Of the hordes.
the orcs.
Yeah, I've been looking into it.
The orc hordes. And
I just started it.
I thought the like I really like the Nemesis.
Yeah, because if they kill you, they get like promoted and shit, right?
Yeah,
No.
and then because you're a ghost, you just come back and shit like that. It all ties in like a story and whatnot. And they also can you can make them stronger by giving them death threats from so you can like take over what like somebody under him or some
you
different
can, like, possess
and then you
them
can
kinda.
make them do a death threat to your target so they can buff up their shit.
Oh shit.
So they can give better loot and stuff like that.
That's
so
badass.
So I just like the fact that you can kind of control the outcome.
Manipulate
You
it.
can definitely, and one of the things they pointed out is like if you had someone you didn't want to deal with, you could death threat them and essentially get them pushed up in rank, so you could like progress the story in a different direction.
No, yeah, you can take over an underling or somebody around them and tell them to kill that person.
You can take an underling too, right? And then they like rise to power like as they level up, so that you have like somebody that's like really, really powerful, but you got him when he was like
you
a
got
rookie.
you got them under your control. So
I mean, it's that one was one of the best rated games of that year, I think.
yeah, it was
It was
game of the
insane.
year.
And for it to be for $5 with all the expansions on PC, I mean, and with essentially bugged out, like it's as perfect as you're gonna get a game. I think it's a great deal, and that's kind of like the incentive that I've been waiting for. Like for it to be that cheap. Like
Yeah.
I mean, it's just at this point it's a steal. So
Yeah.
Yeah, the reason why I put that down was because
We're
my
tying
girl,
in.
yeah, my girlfriend, she hasn't seen any of those. Like, so she didn't see Harry Potter, so we knocked out the whole Harry Potter series. And then so finally I'm like, all right. I
Wait,
think,
she didn't like watch any.
no, bro.
Did she live under a rock?
Yeah, man. We
Yeah,
lived under the
basically,
rock, bro.
Mhm.
That's basically what it was. So,
she didn't see any little kids running around with sticks and assume that.
yeah,
was Harry
obviously she knew about that it was like a thing. We just never saw it. Can we move on? All right, moving on. So I was like, all right, I think she's ready for Lord of the Rings. And then I was like, I mean, actually, no, I was doubting it. I was like, I don't think you're ready for it. And she's like, dude, I want to see it. So we saw it, and like, I don't know about you guys, but when I saw Lord of the Rings, like I cried like a bitch when I saw the last one.
Damn.
No, did it not hit you?
No, it hit me hard. It did, because the thing is, like, also as like growing up, like bringing your dad to a movie.
I brought my dad to it too.
Yeah. And I was just like, my dad was just not as impressed. He was like, I guess that's
Really, my dad was crying his eyes
Really?
out.
Oh,
Yeah.
what? Oh, my dad saw like the second one, and he was like, yeah, dude, I just feel like they should have like
Okay, that's-
amicably.
That's how my dad was, but I like would pause it and give him like play by play.
I think
and
it's me
explain it
and
to
my
him.
dad saw it in theaters, so like that's what I should have done. So like it's like
Yeah.
you can't just throw your dad into that and be like because I mean my dad did that for Star Wars too. It was just like what the it's like you need to explain shit to him, explain why it's important and why it's important to you. My dad was always like that for everything at home, but like the thing is like you want to see it first thing. So it's like
Yeah.
so I just take my dad, you gotta take me to this shit. I heard some dude like it's 17 arrows into me, so beat the shit out of her. Which is like the perfect like story to get drawn into the first one, right?
yeah.
Like they were like some dude gets shot like with a bunch of arrows and he kicks the shit out of her. And my dad when my dad hears that, like me and my dad growing up hearing like Jackie Chan. Like, yeah, like he's like, oh, that sounds a badass. And he's like, and he shows up, but then it's just like a bunch of like elves going, blah, 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 blah. And he's like, this shit sucks.
Yeah. What I signed up for.
But
Yeah, same with with my dad. It's like he loves action movies, and it's like when he doesn't see them, it's like he'll fall asleep, and it's like, why do you hate me, Dad?
So what did you think? What was there?
So we started off, and as soon as that freaking tune when Frodo and Sam, like doo 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 doo, and I like started already like, and then my girl's like, "Are you serious?" And I'm like, "Great!" Like we're gonna get to the end. This was my fear throughout the whole thing. I'm like, we're gonna get to the end, and I'm gonna be crying like a bitch, and she's just gonna be like, "Dude, really?" So we get to the end finally, dude. I was like, it was so funny because she's like for the last 30 minutes, she's just like crying her eyes out. And I'm like, yes. And I was like so happy that she was crying. I was like, yes, feel the emotions. I'm crying too, but I'm like, good, you cry more than me.
What would have been funny is if like you were just like, that's what you get. And then your dad steps in. He's like, no, that means that. He grabs your arm. That's what you get.
Oh,
You don't know what my life is.
She cries at me all the time.
oh my God. Yeah. So then after that, like now she's like on this freaking like purge. So I got Shadow of Mordor because it's like, it's so weird that we started watching it. And like now they're doing like an HBO. They're redoing the whole Lord of the
You
Rings.
have to watch the
What?
Hobbit.
They're doing an HBO?
I don't know if it's HBO, isn't it? It's like it broke a record from like the budget.
Series?
The
Or
budget.
the budget.
Like they broke, I think, Game of Thrones.
Once you run out of Game of Thrones, you can spend money on whatever you want. Look,
I don't know how. I mean, I'm scared because I'm like, I don't think it's gonna live up to, I love the original.
I don't know. I mean, I feel like there's a lot of. I mean, who directed the original? Well, directed all of them, right? Even the Hobbit.
Peter
Not the
Jackson.
no, he didn't do the Hobbit.
No,
he did. He did.
He did?
He did the Hobbit. Yeah.
I thought it was the Hispanic one.
Oh, Benicio?
No, Guillermo del Toro. No,
Guillermo?
no.
No,
I think he did part of it. I think he produced it. I think he helped produce it. But I think Peter Jackson still directed the film.
he did.
Yeah, I think
Because I had heard that he didn't want to because he had already did the Lord of the Rings trilogy and he was like,
He was
I don't want to outdo
done with
my
it?
yeah. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't know.
Well,
I
I
want to
mean,
say it's Peter Jackson.
what did you guys think about? Oh, it might have been. It might have
Because
been.
it all seemed very similar.
I mean, Google this shit. Let's do this.
What am I googling?
Who directed
did
the Hobbit
Who
and
directed
all the
the
Hobbits.
Hobbit? The second Hobbit. There's only
There's
two
three.
of them. There's three.
There's three. Yeah, there's three.
Dude, I gotta watch the
wait.
Hobbits. Hey, I'm gonna say something I didn't
That's
really
one of the
watch.
ones where that was one of the ones where I thought like the Hobbit could have easily been just two films, but I ended up them stretching it into three.
Yes. I agree with that one.
Because I saw all three of them now that I think about it, and I was like, this could have been just two movies.
I haven't seen the third one because everybody said that. It was
Okay,
really
so
bad.
yeah, it's directed by Peter Jackson, written by Jackson, Fran Walsh, and also by Guillermo del Toro. So yeah, it looks like it was just directed by Peter Jackson.
Peter Jackson.
Yeah, so
And then just to finish up on that, now they're the new Tolkien. Like we went to go see Alita, which we'll get to that later on.
yeah.
We went to go see Alita, and then in the trailers, I'm like watching this. I wasn't even paying attention, and then it's this dude in a war. It's like a soldier, and then he starts talking, and he starts saying like words, and I'm like, have I just been seeing too much Lord of the Rings lately that I'm like hearing Lord of the Rings everywhere right now? And I'm like watching, I'm like, the Fellowship of the Ring, what the fuck is this? And then it's like Tolkien, and it's like the story of Tolkien when he was in the war and when he wrote when he came up with like the whole story for Lord of the Rings. That's coming out soon. So I'm like, damn.
Dizzo.
Yeah, that was cool.
What do you think about like? Because I've been noticing it's kind of a trend. What do you think about all these movies that are coming out where it's like
a movie about the guy who made something.
Yeah. So like, there's the Elton John movie that's coming out.
Oh, like biopic?
There's that Freddie Mercury movie.
The musical ones I always loved since like forever.
Yeah, you get like the dirt.
Yeah,
from
okay,
Crew
because if
and
you
shit.
had told somebody like I'm talking about 1996, 97, I'll bring you back to a time when someone was like, I'm so excited to see this movie. And then Kevin steps in and is like, I really feel like it's kind of shitty to make movies about people who made the music instead of just the music. And then somebody says, nobody talks about Selena that way.
Hey, nobody.
I never said that.
No, I know you didn't, but I'm just saying, but like now,
Salinas.
yeah, Salinas. And it's like, now it's true though, because I side with you 100%. I feel like we can grab any major artist and I mean,
Make a movie about
make
it.
a movie about him.
Yeah.
But is it like that crazy?
Dude,
I mean,
you know what movie I want to watch? I want to watch a movie about Kodak Black.
That dude's still alive, dude. It's like,
There's a movie about Molly Crew. They're still all alive.
yeah,
It's called The Dirt.
Dirt, right? It's
The
on
Dirt,
Netflix.
yeah. It's on Netflix.
That just
Check it
came
out.
out not too long ago.
and then now,
then-
now they pointed out
They
like,
gotta make one about Prince, dude.
Elton John is still alive, right?
But then you gotta realize where it's like,
yeah.
So they're making a movie about him. He's still alive. I just forgot about that. To be honest, like when I see that movie, I was like, oh yeah, he died. But it's like, oh no, he did. Oh wait, he did not die. It's.
But do you guys think that it gets over dramatized or like?
Oh, of course.
It's over the top as opposed
what
to what
sells
they
the
actually
movie.
lived
Oh.
through.
Huh?
I'm sure it gets through like I'm sure they lived through some of that, but I'm sure there's some of it that's like fucking
It's just kind of like, yeah, dramatized.
they're just dramatized. They're extra, you know, like
I mean, but that sells movies. I mean, in the beginning, I don't feel like anyone
sells
really.
pornos.
Oh, yes, it does because there has to be a story. I just feel like it. It
But I
kind of
feel like it
makes
is a
it
trend.
sellable. I mean,
Because
what
not
are you
o-
going to fill an hour and a half with? Like not drama?
that is true.
Yeah.
Because not only in like in America, but you see that in Hispanic culture. You see like Joan Sebastian has his own series. Juan Gabriel
does?
has his own series.
What is this?
What? He
What
does?
is cultural
Yeah,
barrier?
Juan
so
Gabriel-
you're seeing this like not
Gabriel.
only.
I know
in,
Celia
like-
Cruz.
Oh,
Does
Celia
that.
Oh, that one was
Yeah.
dumb.
So it's
Nothing
pretty
but
cool.
hotties
Like,
in
I
that
mean,
one.
I can see the trend. I mean, it is almost a trend now that you see.
God.
That's
He's
my
not going to be
phone.
able to get insurance on the phone because he did that live, dude. He did that His phone is fucking broken right now.
That's evidence.
It's completely fine, everyone.
He's just smoking.
I'm fired. That's completely fine. I mean, what are you really gonna sell a movie on? Like, it's like if I sell like a movie on Elton John and like 20 minutes of him was just like him picking outfits and being like, ooh, this is nice. And then I'll be like, this movie sucks. Like, you have to
Yeah.
fill it with drama. You have
That
to.
is true, but I feel like it hasn't really been. I mean, that kind of is a trend, but I feel like it's only been picking up recently because I feel like it has been a thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's just now you just see like masses of amounts of like.
Dude,
not
they're
just one-
pumping out these movies
Yeah,
faster
it's
than I
not
can
just-
watch them.
You know what
They're
one
just
movie
musicians.
that made me like feel like if I wanted to watch, it'd be like a movie on like System of a Down. Even though I don't know how they could fill that
Dude,
with drama, but I would
dude.
watch that. Like,
Dude,
first.
yeah,
I would
because
watch
like
it.
there was the whole like wasn't there like little micro wars or like micro wars going on where they lived and whatnot? That would be a very interesting story.
I don't know, but I mean, you could
Not
do
to
that
mention the whole rap game. They did Biggie, Tupac.
the
yeah.
big commercial
NWA.
success with NWA,
NWA.
that was insane.
No,
Yeah, and I
but
mean,
it
no one
does
even
bring, like,
questioned that,
sales
and
to
all
those
those dudes
music.
are still loved except Izzy's or Izzy. So like, it's like it kind of feels like you could do that with anyone.
I just like how his son looks exactly like him.
I know.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
You talking about Ice Cube, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was like, dude, it's like his little clone.
I know. Ice Cube,
Wild.
CGI. Ice Cube's so good.
Yeah, it's getting
Right?
Yeah. I said, why does he got green eyes though?
contact
make
where motherfucker. All right, so moving on.
So Star Wars, Rise of the Skywalker. I thought that title was pretty wild. That when they
The
released.
reveal.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
crazy.
don't
I'm
test,
just
don't
like,
test me
what?
on the knowledge from this, but I know that the knowledge kind of comes from like knowing that the original like titles to the films like Return of the Jedi, Empire Strikes Back, and like A New Hope, those were all taken from like old movies that had that style of like a movie cover, and they were all like
Melodrama.
melodrama. So like George Lucas really paid like homage to that. So like the newer movies don't really have that, as whereas like the last Jedi, it's like it kind of really it didn't really have any oomph for me. And now the Rise or the Skywalker. Oh,
No,
dude, yeah.
and this is us watching the trailer. After watching the trailer, we're all hoping, well, at least for me, we're all hoping that this will tie in all the movies together. I don't know. What do you guys think of the trailer?
I did see in an article beforehand that what's his name? Ryan Johnson was okay with J.J. Abrams retconning certain parts.
What does that mean,
of the series.
retconning?
Retconning means going back on and changing something.
He's like, yo, shit sucked.
No, yeah. So like
changing some factual
some facts.
information,
And so the one factual that at least he brought up is that he thinks J.J. Abrams is gonna retcon the fact that Rey's lineage So that might.
I mean, this is on previous podcasts, but I'm not a fan of The Last Jedi. I am a fan of it in the fact that it's a Star Wars film. You always will have a little bit of like, oh, I thought this was cool. I thought this was cool. There's aspects of it that I think were amazing. Overall, I just feel like it did not set up for a third film well. Like it completely destroyed the first film. And I feel like going into J.J. Abrams picking it up again, I would like to see how he likes to patch it up. You know what I mean? Do I feel like it will take away from this film? Kind of. From my initial thoughts from the trailers, and I don't know what anyone else thought, but I think it comes back to it where like I feel like Rey is now the main character. Like I have something to believe in her. While in the last part when Kylo Ren says like, you know, like you're nothing, you're nothing,
You're no one.
you're no one. Like it's like, oh
dude,
wait, you're telling me this person just randomly thought like, oh, let me be a Force user, blah blah blah. Like the Skywalker lineage is very strong in those sagas. Like it always is. Like and continues past the canon where like even if you're part of like the Skywalker lineage, like you're connected to that lineage and you're expected to do great things for the galaxy because of that lineage. So it's like, I mean, I feel like it was kind of weird. I have a lot of hopes for it. And J.J. Abrams is a great director. I feel like he did great things for Star Trek, right?
Mm-hmm.
I feel like he'll do great things for this film. I'm excited. What do you guys feel?
There's so many theories, you know.
Yeah, there's so
that are
much
in
crazy
play right now.
Like at the end of the trailer, there was Palpatine laughing.
It gets you thinking. Right?
Yeah, but yeah, it was Emperor Palpatine laughing, and everybody's like, "What?"
And then also there's been theories of like, I think there was a theory where it's like the less Jedi there is, the more Force that goes to the people that are still alive, so that could kind of solve in the whole thing where Rey like all of a sudden picks up shit and she's like super strong.
OP.
And, like, yeah. Because all the rest, it's almost like kind of like the one. Remember with Jet Li?
Oh,
like
yeah.
The less versions of him that there were, the more powerful the ones that were remaining were. So it's kind of like, oh, now it's just Kylo and Rey. So maybe they're like super uber powerful because of that. There's so many theories. You know, there's so many things that going on. Then with the Emperor, they're saying like, you know, there's like the whole theory of like incarnation.
Yeah.
Is she like the incarnation of, you know,
Palpatine?
Yeah.
Whoa, crazy! Is that something that's out there?
Oh yeah, that's been out. That's
Yeah.
been out as a fan theory.
Like Rey is a reincarnation of Emperor Palpatine.
Well, not reincarnation.
what is it?
She's related.
Oh,
Yeah.
Also
Whoa.
Vader, because Darth Vader came out of nowhere just like her, and then like he picked it up super quick and all that shit. And then I forgot there's other things in there
Vader.
too.
Yeah.
Vader.
Yeah, definitely.
What was the thing you were talking about that she was like
Yeah.
a double agent?
Yeah, I heard a conspiracy or theory of that she's actually double agent this whole time. So basically, she has been with the Sith Lord. She's
That shit was crazy. That was pretty good. I don't think I've ever heard you do that.
That
Love
was one of my
no.
favorites.
There
of all
is
time.
a theory of that she has been playing for the whole side.
Oh shit.
But there's kind of some gray areas where like
Gray
it doesn't
areas.
understand because like in the first movie, the 9th installment, like she's in this planet. She's next to basically the Millennium Falcon, and she doesn't know or senses it. Or
Did you say the Millennial Falcon?
Millennium, the Millennium Falcon. What is that?
yeah.
I wonder
They
how
they just start complaining about how capitalism's ruining our lives.
And it's just like
Yeah.
it's complaining about how like we're just fucked and it shouldn't have to work hard for its work. Like it shouldn't have to work hard for money.
It's like, why do we have to go fast?
Why do we have to go fast? I should just get like a
It's like-
bunch of money for being
Okay.
alive.
We're wasting too much fuel.
But yeah, so the Millennium Falcon. I didn't mean to.
No, you're good.
But yeah,
that's a funny Millennium Falcon.
That's a funny you made over there, buddy.
That's
Hey,
funny.
you got that written down that notebook?
write that as a
down
joke,
for
bro.
Write that out as a joke, bro.
No, but basically, yeah, like you know, she was next to the Millennium Falcon for so long. The fact that she doesn't know where she's come from, her parentage, and then in the first scenes of the movie, it's like she's writing down, like counting down almost.
Oh
like,
yeah.
like, what's gonna happen? Like, what
There's
is she
so many of
counting
those facts that
down?
never
Like,
really come back. And
I thought she was counting up, but maybe she
doesn't
was counting
pay
yeah.
homage
So
to.
she, like a lot of people think, like they have she's counting for her parents, she's coming back. But what if she's really counting down for
It's going down.
Yeah, like something's gonna go down. She's waiting for Finn. Finn was actually a double agent as well. I mean, that's just another.
What about the theory that Leia had an affair with Lando Calrissian and their son is Finn, and he's actually the Skywalker. That's not a theory. I just came up with that shit on the fly. What's up?
It's all right, dude.
Now there's gonna be a whole subreddit of just people just talking about.
No
like,
wonder Han
hey,
Solo
you know what
killed
David
himself.
said?
We were talking about it. We were like, just started throwing stuff, and then like, what if it is? We were like,
It just becomes a viral subreddit.
it fits.
And dude, BB-8 is just the made up parts of the suit of Darth Vader that got put together.
It's like, all right, guys, you're getting way too wild right now.
P3O and R2D2.
Yeah,
had a little
R2D2.
fling,
Yeah, the
and
little.
No, but that
Robot
BB-8.
sex. Hot.
So,
Overall, I think I'm super excited.
Yeah, what's your first thoughts?
So my first thoughts of it are, I'm excited for it. I feel like also Kylo Ren should just shoot her. I don't know why he's trying to run her down in the middle of a fucking desert.
That was badass.
That was badass, though. That's a badass scene waiting to happen, right? There's, I know for a fact, just after immediately like clicking on things after the trailer, that there's a lapse between the last film and this
A
film.
year, right?
Yeah, I mean, hopefully more.
I think it was a year. That's what they were saying. I'm not sure.
Yeah, so hopefully there's a lapse in time. We get to see Finn and Poe Dameron like in some chase scenes, so it's like I'm excited for that.
It looks just like the Return of the Jedi
Yeah,
too.
boom! I love it. Okay, so great mention on that one. I really feel like it's gonna go there.
Great mention on what?
Yeah, it looks like Return of the Jedi. Like when
Remember
they're just like
when-
on the little floating.
Harrison
thing,
Ford's like
the
blind. He's
little
like, Chewie, I can't see.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's gonna be pretty cool like that. I mean, I'm excited for it as a potential, like probably a tie to what I feel could have been a more well executed trilogy.
Yes.
But I think that's what you get when.
I know. I heard it too. I was like, what the?
I think that's what you get when you don't choose one director for 3 films instead of diversify and try to go in a different direction. But I mean, what do I know? I'm just a crappy fan.
That is also true.
I can't direct anything.
That is also true.
Can't even direct my life.
Dude.
Yeah.
It's all right.
Speaking
I'm glad
of,
you're recognizing
speaking
it.
of fan, have you guys seen the
I'm glad
Vader
you're
fan film?
We're
self-aware.
having a breakthrough.
Yeah.
Okay.
Have you guys seen the Vader fan film?
Oh, the one that they tried shutting down.
Yes. You
Yeah,
guys,
so if we're gonna detract from that, from Rise of the Skywalker, there was this fan film being made that was pretty it was pretty good budget for something that's made by fans.
yeah.
Yeah,
It
it was
looks
like-
like you
Yeah,
can tell it.
it looks like almost like a semi-professional film,
Very.
and Disney was trying to shut that shit down.
Oh, that's where George Lucas came out and defended it. Right?
Yeah,
that's
because
crazy.
and it was like, dude, you know, our expanded universe is created by our fans. You know, like I was like, it's basically like the fans make it, we approve. You know, and I was,
Yeah, and Disney was trying to do that copyright. You know,
Disney
that they
was like,
owned it,
"What
but they
is
don't
this?"
own the rights to the Star Wars.
fan films, like, because you know that's how it is with a lot of like these universes. People have fan films for Marvel, fan films for DC. It's like why is Disney trying to put their iron grip on fucking like Star Wars like that? That would piss me off.
Money. Oh my god!
I couldn't finish it.
Not do that anymore, please. You have nightmares of that shit. Dude, Fallen Order's got some good shit in it.
Okay, so moving
I'm
on.
pretty much an objector. I haven't seen a lot on this.
So the teaser trailer for going along with Rise of the Skywalker, there's Star Wars Jedi The Fallen Order. So in the backstory that I was kind of reading on it is this is taken as one of the few surviving Jedi after Order 66.
Okay.
So
Execute Order 66.
So yeah, so this is during the whole part where there's the new Darth Vader and whatnot, and all the clone troopers are like after you and whatnot.
It's from the same people that made Apex, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
right. Yeah.
Respawn Entertainment is
developers.
making it. One thing I'm surprised. So it is being published by EA, but
Boo.
yeah,
Boo.
but
The people that made Apex.
But
But-
really respawn, yeah.
But basically, they
Really,
said
boo.
they want to make it a pure single player experience, which we haven't had in a while. Besides, I would say The Witcher 3.
The Titanfall 2 campaign was dope.
It was amazing.
It was amazing.
Yeah, it was really good.
That was by EA.
That was
by
no, that was
Respawn.
Respawn. EA did publish it, but it was by Respawn. So and they were also the ones that said we'll give you the DLC for free. Like
Damn.
yeah, so
They're giving it out for free.
yeah, but so they'll probably still charge DLC on this game. But they said the one thing I thought was dope is they said we're not going to have any loot boxes or microtransactions in this game.
It'd be pretty hard to integrate that to a single player game, though. I mean, that's like sounds like they're really not innovative. I feel like they should try to do it to show me.
No, they did do it in certain single player games. You know how they messed up Unity with that?
Oh, never mind.
I
I retract my previous statement.
Assassin's Creed.
Yeah. But yeah, I'm really excited for a Star Wars game.
What was the last Star Wars game that you like really enjoyed?
Battlefront 2. Not the new one.
Yeah, the old one. But if we're trying to say a game that's like
Computer.
a little more recent than that one, I would probably say Knights of the Old Republic is older also,
cool.
but I'm just saying like the more closer recent, because he did say what was the last one would be the Force Unleashed, like 1 and 2.
I would personally I would say the Old Republic. I enjoyed playing it, but I never had enough like friends playing it online.
You mean the MMO?
Yeah, the MMO that short-lived. I don't know if it's still up.
No, it is. It is still up.
I think it's free now, right? Free to play now.
Free to play
now.
What
was the MMO?
Yeah,
it was the Old Republic.
The Old Republic. Star Wars: The Old Republic.
So it's based in the area of, the Old Republic back when you had kind of
cool because it kind of had like the Mass Effect kind of vibe going. Like you can choose your dialogue, with the NPC. And I think it would choose with whether you were bad or good, or you were a Sith Lord, right, or a Jedi.
It would choose.
Yeah, no, you would choose.
You choose how you want your story to go.
Like the actions that your character would do.
Yeah,
based on those actions.
I dig that.
Yeah, so I think it was pretty cool.
Yeah, Knights of the Old Republic was pretty badass. That was the last one I played that I liked a lot. It took me forever to make my lightsaber. Like 30% of the game, I was just like, when can I let go of this sword? Because I don't understand.
Oh, the vibro swords?
Yeah, it's like, why am I? This guy has a lightsaber. Technically, he should be cutting through my shit. Why don't I get one of those?
Yeah.
And then finally, you make your.
Why can't I just pick up his after I?
Yeah, I was like, pick it up, come on. And then you have to go through like this whole process. The second one, I think you have to go through this whole process, but like you can actually pick like what color. Do you want a dual one or do you want a single? Like you could like customize everything. It was pretty cool.
Okay.
Yeah.
Damn.
I liked it as that.
Yeah. This is, I don't know. I'm kind of going like open-minded with this game.
Is there a trailer for this game yet?
Yeah.
There is.
The trailer's pretty good. I'll show it after the show. I'll show it to you.
The trailer didn't sell me too much, but I got faith in it though.
It didn't sell me because from previous installments, I've kind of,
Lost all faith.
Yeah, I kind of lost faith of, especially like, not only that, but like they canceled the last single-player game that they were going to do. It was based around a bounty hunter, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
What?
It was gonna be like an open world. You could travel throughout the Star Wars galaxy doing whatever you want.
Why the hell did they cancel that?
I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
That's stupid.
Something about they knew you were going to play it.
I think that was when
Want you
LucasArts
to do it.
too, like also sold, rights to Disney. So I think that's when they made that deal. So I don't know if that's why, it just didn't fall through, or I'm not so sure, but I believe that's when it happened.
Okay, so moving on. Sergio, you brought it up to us earlier. What is this Julian Assange story?
Yeah, so Julian Assange, if you guys don't know, he's the owner or one of the owners of the WikiLeaks.
Yeah, WikiLeaks website.
So he's actually
Governments hate him.
Governments hate him. He's actually in the spotlight. He's in the news because he just got arrested in London.
Okay.
He got kicked out of the Ecuadorian embassy. So
because he was taking like asylum in a bunch of different countries, right?
Yeah, so he had taken asylum because he had in Sweden. He has a couple of charges against.
Weren't they? I think they were rape charges.
Rape charges or something. Yeah. He never went to those courts, so they're trying to extradite him to Sweden. But to him, it's like if they extradite him to Sweden, there's possibilities that they'll extradite him to the U.S. because the U.S. not only they've also charged him against, I believe, espionage. Don't quote me on that. Or it could be on hacking charges because I think he hacked a computer or government computer,
Mhm.
something like that, or they're trying to kind of like find a way to extradite him. So
Get him on some charges
yeah. So right now,
so they can silence him.
yeah. So there's
Marauder.
so a couple of days ago they he got kicked out of the embassy. So right now it's kind of up in the air what's going to happen to him. They're thinking that they're going to extradite him to the U.S. It's still going to take a long time. The whole process takes a couple of years. They're saying that it's going to take a couple of years, but right now it's up in the air. I don't know if you guys heard of Julian Assange before, or what he's done before, or not.
Do
Well,
you think they're gonna hit him?
Hate him,
hit him.
Hit him.
hit him.
And then hate him.
And then
Capital
hit him.
punishment.
Ah, maybe,
Or hit them with their hate.
maybe. I think
They're
that's-
probably gonna Guantanamo his ass, right?
I mean, possibly.
Cock
They-
meat sandwich.
Poor.
But I mean,
Pour the hot
just
wax.
put it in this
on.
perspective. You're literally going to up against one of the strongest nations in the world. I mean,
They want to shut him down.
America.
yeah.
I think we're in the right here. I think we need to grab whoever threatens freedom, right? Take them down to some place that's not even our country, so we can abuse rights that aren't even ours. Because in our country, the rights kick ass. Right?
America!
And then
Fuck yeah!
fucking put a towel over his head, fucking drench him in water over and over again until he starts
Jesus
squealing, dude.
Christ.
It starts squealing hard. I'm telling you, if you fucking do that shit to me, I'll tell them all about you, and you. Every single day. No loyalty. Dude, I'll do it. If you even touch me, the cop is like, hey, man, how's it going tonight? I'm like, he has drugs. He has them on him. I mean,
Check
like,
his anus.
You're with your grandma. Yeah, my grandma has a gun.
it is wow, you threw your family under I never said that about my family. I said about my best friends. Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, obviously I go against all that in retrospect. Like I feel like it's very harmful to grab someone who is just exposing truths. I mean, whether governments think they're confidential or not, right?
Mhm.
And putting them in their own regard, like, does he deserve to go down to a maximum security? Or, I mean, it's not even a penitentiary. It's like a off-base prison, right? Where we take
Mhm.
prisoners of war or prisoners of any type of like espionage, right? And then we torture them until we tell them everything they know, or just hold them in contempt. Like we just hold them there forever. I mean, what is going to be sentencing? Is it going to be U.S.
Yeah.
right sentencing? I don't think so.
And then that's the thing that they're saying too. Like, what are the charges? Because they're saying that he committed these crimes when in reality it was the source that did it. Chelsea Manning, I believe. He was the one that provided video evidence and she, yeah. They provided, all this stuff that they eventually published out and leaked over the world, or over the internet. So it's like one of those things where it's like, well, it's kind of like it's very weird. It's a fine line almost because, in a sense, you're basically charging a man for publishing, we're doing his job.
The truth.
The truth, or journalism.
Whistleblowing.
Not only that, but especially here in the U.S., if you're being charged of that, it's like you're being charged of, like your first right, like of freedom of speech.
Mhm.
Not only that, it's like when you're, putting this out there, and it's not you providing the source. He didn't steal it. They're alleging that he helped this person steal it and hack it. There's no proof of it. But it's kind of borderline where it's like, all right, when can a journalist hide a source or when can it not?
Right.
Because I think it gets kind of to the fine line where it's like when a journalist cannot, protect the source, I think it's very hard because
Protect that confidentiality.
not only that, but it's like you're putting people at risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Especially if it's something like for the truth. I know it kind of sucks sometimes. You don't want to hear it, especially from a country or.
You can't handle the truth.
So it's one of those things where it's like, it's kind of like, it's a fine line almost of like what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
Is it something right that he did? Is it something wrong that he did? I don't know. Let us know in the comments below. Is it something that he did right? He did wrong? What do you think is going to happen to him? we'll see. I'd like to see that conversation down in the comments.
Also, comment 66 if you want me to punch Jose straight in the face.
Next time?
That's also a thing. Hashtag
I wouldn't
66.
even
Hashtag
I will
66. How
punch
many
him straight in the
66ers?
fucking face
I mean, yep.
Just on Twitter, hashtag 66.
for the good of the fans. All right, moving on.
So, okay. Obviously, me and Jose brought up in a past podcast that we loved Alita Battle Angel.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
yeah.
What? I was not in this podcast. What?
I'm pretty sure you were on that same podcast.
Was I?
Were you?
I don't know if Sergio was.
It's all right. Let's talk about the shit that you guys did that was brand new, that unified you as friends and made you fucking tell your other friends to go suck a huge wiener.
Okay.
What is
So yeah, we had a pretty awesome weekend, or week, I should say. It wasn't weekend. No,
That was
yeah.
just multiple instances.
We had so much fun, bro.
Yeah.
Great.
Dude,
It was amazing.
it was pretty good.
Tell me all about it.
Yeah,
All right, I will.
we'll
Tell me some things
segue
you
into
did.
the
We
next one.
started so many things. All right, so we started off by seeing Alita Battle Angel, which
Fucking fuck.
yeah,
Really?
man, yeah. And not only that, you want to know the shittiest part of it?
What?
Popcorn you get? Did
Oh.
you get the big popcorn?
I did. No, I got the small one.
He
But
did.
then-
He did the popcorn trick though.
What was the popcorn trick?
You
You put a hole in it.
I thought you just got free refill.
I know. That's what I said. I'm like, I did that. I don't remember doing that. I remember getting free refill for that. But We put M&Ms up in the popcorn, so it was like melting like it was good. No,
that popcorn so warm when you get it.
no. But
That's a different level of flavor.
you're making me lose track of what I was going to say.
Alita Battle
Yeah,
Angel. Did
Alita
you watch
Battle
that
Angel.
movie
Oh,
without
yeah.
us? Or didn't you?
Oh yeah, the
Answer
shittiest
the
part.
question.
Yeah. Not only did I see it, it's gone. It's like we saw it on the last day because the day after that, my,
IMAX?
no, it was
3D.
We didn't either, but we could have had
We
that
didn't
all
either.
together if you had coordinated with us, you motherfucker.
We watched Alita Battle 3D. I had seen it prior, but
3D.
Dude, I felt so bad.
God damn it, Kevin. We
Dude,
gotta watch 3D.
I felt so bad because like my girl was like, dude, I want to see that. I'm like, all right, well, it's cool. Hey, we'll watch it right now. And then I look it up. I'm like, so funny story. Apparently, that was the last day that it was in theaters. After that, now we're in that period where like you have to wait till it comes to DVD. So we caught on the last day, dude. The next day,
Dude.
Tuesday, they took that shit out.
it.
Yeah, Tuesday's the day.
First impressions, I'll let you guys have the floor. Kevin, do not mention it because we had our fucking spot on the floor. What do you guys think?
Dude, I hate to say this. I hate it. But I got mad respect for your so far you're 2 for 2, bro. With us, which I didn't want to believe that it was like mediocre. This motherfucker. Hey bro, what the fuck? Get your dick out of my face. Yeah, I don't want to say the rest of it now. I think that was pretty much it. No. Yeah, it was really good, man. It was really, really good. It was like one of those moments where it was like, I don't know. It reminded me of like watching The Matrix for the first time.
Boom.
Because it was like,
You said something like that in the first time, yeah.
because it was just like the CGI. At first I
the
was like,
CGI. Not only that, but like the fighting scenes.
they were
Because
so
it's like you
badass.
get into like it's like the pace of the movie. It's like yeah.
Yeah.
Like we're starting to do the like the sport whatever they're doing, and then you get these cool fighting scenes, and she's
yeah,
kicking
dude.
ass, like fucking kicking ass. Like she's fucking.
Dude, we should go halves on it when it comes out on Blu-ray.
Yeah.
that moment when the dude like grabs her by the neck, even though it's in the trailer,
Yeah, it's in the trailer.
that shit still is so. Oh
grabs
man, just how fast and just wow and slams him on the table. It's like God damn.
Who's next, motherfucker?
Yeah.
Did you guys all
And
get
she,
the
like,
impression
spinning kicks and
when,
Bruce Lee shit.
Christopher Watts, like when he's trying to follow the girl out,
Yeah.
right? You think the guy's a bad guy, right?
I was like, fuck,
Yeah.
he's a villain.
and then
Alright.
not only that, but you see the girl, like she's wearing the trench coat or whatever, and you were just like, there is some perverse and horrible things about to happen, and I don't like Christopher Watts. I knew he was a bad character, in this,
Yeah.
right? But then it switches, right, pretty quickly, and I mean, it's pretty quickly.
thank God.
Within an instant, you figure out, oh, this is what's going on. Okay, now I'm 100% back in this, right?
I never doubted him for a minute, even though you were totally the other
Right,
side.
I know. I totally thought he was going to be horrible, but that's when we realized, like, wow, like, I mean, me and Kevin were realizing beforehand, like, wow, this is amazing CGI. We really think this is going like in a crazy direction, right? Did you guys kind of get that little bit of?
Did you know that girl in the scene, the one with like the blades for the arms? I didn't even know because she started talking. I'm like, why does she sound familiar?
She's Elisa Gonzalez, right?
Michelle Rodriguez.
No.
Michelle Rodriguez.
I called it out.
Okay.
The girl, the one that got her face planted in the wall.
No. Michelle Rodriguez was the girl that was
her
following-
flashbacks.
was following them up the rope
tube, yeah.
and then they send down the little thing that spirals down the rope, right? That was
She's
her
her-
like squadron leader.
Like
Oh,
her
for
mentor,
real?
yeah.
That's where you saw her.
Yeah, because I saw it and I was like, dude, that's
You could tell her immediately.
Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't know. Okay.
Girl
my
with
bad.
the fingers is Elisa Gonzalez.
Oh,
She's
and also
she's
what's his
a
name?
Rodriguez.
Hispanic actor.
What's his
Mexican
name? The
also in-
Fight Club guy, Edward Norton.
Edward Norton.
Yeah, I
was
saw
the
that.
I
Yeah.
thought that was pretty cool. You
That was
called it.
crazy.
I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Like I didn't see it at all.
I
But
felt
you're
that
like,
was like, but how did you guys feel about? So what?
It was so funny though because we were watching it and then when it shows the bad guy, I was like, "Oh shit, Blade's up in this shit!" But I was making a joke. Turns out he's actually gonna be the next
He's gonna
Blade.
be the next
Really?
Yeah,
That is
and I was like, "Dude, I made that joke just messing around. And he actually is gonna be the next
So
Blade."
we kept on saying that was JR.
He does look like it's true. He does.
good old Earl, good old
Oh, shit, he
JR.
does.
Shout out to Earl.
Oh my
Shout out
god.
to Earl. What's up, baby?
3000. But it's
That's messed up.
no, it was just, but it was like so true because
good.
but at first we didn't realize what was happening when he was just like and then he was just like getting taken over and we were just like what is going on like and it was insane. So here's another one and this will be like super specific to our friend group, but there's this part where she goes in and she's talking to everyone at the club or the place where like all
The bar.
the bar, right? Where
Yeah.
all the bounty hunters meet up, right? And they start fighting each other. And there's one of the bounty hunters that takes care of dogs, right? And then, but everyone's beating each other up, and that guy's just sitting there smiling, right? Because he's watching them all doing it. And then Kevin's just like, "That's Steve."
Yeah, dude.
And he nailed it because then later on, like. They go down to fight down in like the under part underneath the bar, right? Where Alita was down for the first time, and then he comes down with his squadron of dogs, and he's like, "That guy didn't like dogs," and I was like, "That would be Steve." Like he takes one thing from one conversation and goes down to living daylights and someone for no reason. I mean, there was a lot of great.
We were
parts in the
laughing
film.
our ass off when. Well, first off, like I almost started crying when he killed the dog. I was like, "Why would you kill the dog?" And then she
the
like
scene right after that picks up the blood, like the pool, like
picks
the
up
puddle
the
blood.
and she's like,
That bitch broke my nose.
"But like, why would you put the?" I don't know. It's just like,
Oh yeah, that seemed a little out of
what
place.
you did
there.
was way worse than what he did.
And that's the
like
that's-
mutilated his remains.
That's the like face of that movie too. Like that's
Oh,
like
yeah,
her
with
with the
the-
blood on the thing.
yeah,
I was like,
that's on the
dog blood.
covers.
Now I see that. I'm like, that's
That's dog blood,
Yeah.
man.
What the hell? I was just like, that's worse.
Yeah.
That was funny though.
What do you guys think of Demi Moore? She was looking.
Was she in there?
That's not Demi Moore.
That's not
bro.
Demi Moore, no.
No.
Who is that?
Can you
That's that
IMDb
one
this shit
chick.
real quick before this guy ruins this movie?
She's the chick from.
Who's the girl then?
I forgot her name, but it's not Demi Moore.
She was also looking at sexual.
Yeah, I don't think that was.
I just want
No.
you to know.
It's okay. Hey, I thought the other chick was Michelle Rodriguez.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just jumped in.
You're my favorite girl. That's when that happened. That's exactly what I thought about.
It's
that.
Jennifer Connelly.
There you
is
go.
the one you're talking about.
They look so familiar. They look
No, I see it now. I've never seen it now, but now I see it when you mentioned that Demi Moore thing.
Yeah.
I also thought she was like some uppity bitch because she was because she at first she was like, "I'm up here trying to get up like into this."
How
like,
you gonna leave Christoph Waltz though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. There's some twists in that like at the end that I'll leave for anyone who wants to watch.
Oh, the guy. That's what. Like you said, I just blurted it out.
But to see their relationship unfold and then
Did you get like emotional at the end?
I got a little like
I did.
I got a little like
a little bit.
revved up. I mean,
It's so funny how like how she goes from like being a super trained killer badass and then she sees the guy and she turns into like a 16-year-old, you know what I'm saying?
Dude, yeah, she does that a lot.
She's like, "Hey, here you go." I thought that was pretty funny.
so one of
That
the
was
cons that we
hilarious.
had on that one was that there was some cheesy dialogue and that there was so like a very like we saw this like
coming.
we saw this like love interest coming from like a mile away, right?
Yeah.
Is one of the love interests that did you know like off the bat when you saw that guy on the motorcycle? Like that's the guy she's gonna fall in love with.
Basically.
Yeah.
The fact
Did
that
you
she's
think
like,
that was
who's
cheesy?
that?
Yeah.
She's the first thing she's coming. Who's that? Oh, that's Hugo. Like, who the
Right,
fuck
right.
is him?
She was, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And then the dialogue where she was like, "I want to see you as you're as ugly on the inside as I am on the outside." Man, that seemed a little cheesy, right? When they were about to get into their
Oh,
first
yeah.
fight.
Yeah. I was just like,
I don't know. Maybe it wasn't deserving of knocking out of 10 out of 10, but I thought it was like in 10 out of 10 running easy. I mean,
It was good. It was really good.
It's good, and I feel like the movie itself is set up for a second one.
Dude, I want there to be a
I
second
really
film.
want there.
I hope they do it good though.
So box office wise, that movie did not do that well.
That's what I'm mad about.
Yeah.
It was, dude, for all the ratings and
Or
crap
at least
that
they
it
say
got.
here in the U.S. They said it did better overseas,
Did it?
but still, it's not as
Yeah,
much.
overseas it did way better.
Good.
Yeah, but it was because people were pretty familiar with the manga and stuff.
Yeah,
It was-
because the manga is from Japan, right?
Mm.
It was so funny though, because I was like, dude, she's like a total Hispanic chick, man. She's
yeah.
like goes and like fights for the dude, and then she like literally takes out her beating heart, and she's like, "I'll give you my heart."
Give me this young
Like that's
shit.
a
What's up?
Mexican chick if I've ever seen one.
I gave you my heart. That shit is
so
really
much.
good.
And then he was like,
I'll fight to the death.
He was like, put that shit back. It's like, Jesus Christ. And then she's like, oh, it's like, that was pretty intense.
That was pretty.
that was intense. I was like,
I was telling you, I was like, she's a classic Hispanic
reminds me
chick,
of my
bro.
ex-girlfriend. God damn. She's hey, when I love hard. Holy shit.
Like, pull this out of us. We could sell it for parts. I'm like, you need that to live.
I know.
It's like,
What the- That was
oh
pretty
my
funny.
god. And then another thought. I mean, I want to put this out there because I laughed pretty hard at this. But he goes back to say he's gonna quit, right?
Yeah.
And then the guy's like there, who I think it looks like that one dude from High School Musical that dances next to
Zac
Zac
Efron?
Efron, right?
Oh.
So,
The other guy.
Corbin Dallas is his name,
Dallas.
or some shit like that.
Yeah, dude,
so-
now that you bring that up,
Yeah, he
it
does
sounds
something
like
that.
that.
So
yeah.
he goes back and he's like, I'm out of this shit. And he's like, I hate you, bitch. And he like hits him in the face. And then afterwards he's like, getting his shit rocked by this other dude. And
sacrifices
he's
his
like,
life.
I was like, oh fuck. I love you, dog. And then like it's just like he murders him.
He's
I was
like,
like,
"Cut it."
yeah, and I was like, dude, after I said I fuck you, bitch, like I hate you, bitch, I would have never came back. I was like, I don't know why that guy threw his life in the garbage.
Dude, that was
Yeah,
his
he's
best
just-
friend.
True
Because
away
not
his
only
life.
did he get assaulted by his friend and told that he was going to quit his way of life, and like, it's like, you know what, you hang out with these little hood rat bitches, I don't give a fuck. And then he leaves them, and then afterwards he was like, you know what, dog, you got a point. I'm gonna save your ass. And then he like goes after this guy who has the Aztec calendar on his back. With, like,
Yeah, he's got the Aztec
It's
calendar.
like, it is like insane. When I saw that, it was funny because like,
metal.
a part of me in my heart, I was like, right?
Yeah,
And
he-
then
he-
Kevin turned around.
He
He was
grabbed
like,
me. He's like,
but dude, his blade is awesome, which
Yeah.
she took.
oh, the Damascus blades. Dude, I love.
I was wondering when she was gonna
like
take that
Damascus blades. They are gorgeous.
Yeah.
Dude, that's
So, I mean, spoiler alert out there, but I mean, we all, now that everyone here, and the movie's been out for more than a while, like, spoiler alert, but her boyfriend dies. That happens in the
I like how you didn't want to spoil it, and then you just went right into it.
No,
You're
no, well,
like,
it's
we're
a
spoiling this
spoiler
shit now.
alert. Yeah,
we're going
gonna
in.
spoil this shit. I mean, just alert for anyone who's watching the film, but like, her boyfriend dies, right?
Yeah. Which is kind of stupid because they like decapitate him to save him, and then he just dies.
dies anyway.
What just happened?
Yeah. And
Right?
he
I was like, man, this
brings-
dude's life sucks.
Yeah, his last,
I don't know if there's
the
a
last
site where-
3 hours of his life was just shit.
Shit. And then she goes up there. She saves. She tries to save him. He completely dies. Like when that happened, I was just like, oh, now she's gonna go up and beat Edward Norton's ass, dude. And it didn't happen. And I was super disappointed because I thought this was a beginning to end film. I did not think that this was gonna set it up. I think that was a horrible decision. In the fact that now I feel like us as fans are gonna get screwed out of a second film
Why is that?
because
Well,
they're
he
not
didn't do
since it
good
didn't-
in the box office,
since
so
it
it might
didn't
not
also
warrant a
said
second film.
worldwide though. It did get that.
But you know what?
but it is.
That it might just go into. You know how like before with certain movies they go straight to DVD.
You never know, it might do good in
go.
DVD.
It might go straight to Netflix, like
That'd
for
be
the
pretty
second
dope.
film.
with that same amount of production on the CGI. That was insane.
Yeah, that was.
It was really good.
But then again,
But
like
it
a
is
lot of
James
Netflix,
Cameron.
a lot of Netflix originals are pretty wild
never
too,
know.
man.
Yeah, I mean the CGI on Love, Death, and
Love, Death, Robots.
Love,
yeah.
Death, Robots was really, really
yeah,
good too.
it was really good. It was
don't
right
know.
up there with this one. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Overall, what do you guys give it? We gave
Dude,
it
yeah,
a 10 out
in
of 10.
3D, it was the shit, man.
Yeah, we didn't even see it in 3D.
It was pretty bad.
God damn it.
Especially like that scene where he throws out the tentacles and she's like diving
Oh,
through.
yeah,
That shit
Oh,
looked
really?
dope.
God damn.
And we saw it in like the shittiest level of like
Yeah, we
Tinseltown 3D, and it still looked dope as hell.
So, but what's the rating?
From 1 out of 10,
Yeah, let's go 1 out of 10.
I want to say 8.5.
8.5.
Yeah.
Sounds about right to me too.
What do you give the Bible? What's your movie for
What do you give the
What
Bible?
do you give the Bible?
Rather not gonna.
It's like the worst thing to give him. Why would you give him that?
Dude, like a comparison.
Because it's always funny to hear people be like, oh, like an 8 out of 10. I was like, dude, what the fuck? You're about to get screwed over. Don't say that shit publicly. Bible in public, I give the Bible a 10 out of 10. You know? I don't know. But okay, so the movie, we gave it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah, 9 out of
We
10.
found it hard to not give it a 10 out of 10. We thought it was amazing. The action was amazing when they're going down and they're playing that game and she's killing all those dudes and rolling around them and murdering them.
That was badass.
That was badass.
That was badass.
Yeah, she was
There wasn't a moment where I was like, ah.
wow. Dude, I find it hard. I give it a 9 out of 10. What did you give it, Kevin?
I gave it 9 out of 10 also.
So 8 out of 10?
Yeah,
8.5.
8.5? What is your 10 out of 10 movie? Put that in perspective for everyone.
How dare you?
10
sir.
out of 10.
What's your perfect movie?
Yeah, what's
the
a
perfect movie that you relate all of?
So people have a frame of reference to it.
I like Moon.
What?
Whoa, that was a good one.
Moon.
Did you guys see that one? Edward Norton?
No.
Oh my god.
All right.
That was good.
So now I don't know what
movie.
films
Well,
are now.
So what's would be a 10 out of 10 movie for you, David?
I think I was probably like Django around there.
Django?
I
Okay,
put Django
okay.
at 10 and 10.
Really good
That's
one.
your 10 out of 10.
It
Okay,
was Pulp Fiction. I say Pulp Fiction is probably my 10.
okay,
'Cause
so
it's perfect.
So you said you put 8.5 also for Alita Battle Angel
What?
What do you
for
give it?
Alita Battle Angel.
Yeah, it's in between like 8.5 and 9. It's like right up there. One of those two.
Okay.
I'm
It's up
sorry.
there.
Yeah,
it was good.
You don't
It
have
was
to
good.
apologize, but it's like it was something that
I
to
will
be-
say that like
good.
it's everything that everybody said on the Rotten Tomatoes. All that I was like, dude, why did they give it the shitty rating that it's
I mean,
really
the
good?
the fan rating for that was above 85.
Was it?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
I
8
didn't
out of
see
8
that.
out of 8.5 out of 10. That's actually pretty accurate with
It
what I
was
feel
good.
that
Yeah.
the fans put it on. The critics shit on that movie.
Stupid.
7 out of 10.
I don't know why.
I don't know.
You know
why.
what? I keep hearing like rumors and stuff saying that like studios have like cahoots with Rotten Tomatoes. Wasn't there like some shit that was coming out about that? And it's like movies like that when they get ratings like that, kind of makes me believe that whole thing is true.
I mean,
And it could be real because the same thing with ratings in general, even with video games and stuff. Like sometimes it's like they get rated higher and the game
sucks.
sucks. So I don't know if these
Sucks
people
DL.
that are writing these articles are biased or something. Like that's what I always wonder. But
It's true. Or maybe just everybody's taste is different also.
that
You
too.
never know.
You never know. Moving on.
Yeah. So, the last thing about movies is, so obviously, most of you guys, if not all of you guys, are Latinx.
The fuck?
We're
Dude, what the
Latinx.
fuck?
What the fuck is Latinx?
Hey man, I'm trying to stay gender neutral. Man. But yeah. So La Llorona.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys like
Wouldn't it
grew
be
up
La,
with this
La
story.
Llorona X? Or like or like La Llorona, like
This is super gender, bro? What the fuck?
What the fuck
Fuck.
is going on with you, man?
But yeah, La Llorona. Like you guys, most of you guys grew up with the story. Like
Yeah.
Dude,
So
I remember when you
I don't know
told
what
me.
you guys-
I remember
you
when
guys
you were
might
growing up, Jose. Like you told me the story, and I was like, dude, this story is creepy as fuck.
I think it has.
So do you guys want to hear this story?
Yeah, 'cause
or-
I never heard it.
or
I wanna
give me
hear it.
your
Yeah, go
info?
ahead, go tell the
All right,
story.
so
Then
I'm
we
gonna-
can
so
then
I'm
we
gonna
talk
give you
about the
a
movie.
ballpark,
The urban
estimate of what
legend.
this is. All right, so like there was a lady in town, and her name was Mari. Right.
No, but
Super rare name. Super rare name. And Maria married somebody from the town that was very rich, right? So there's
David.
a rich man dating a poor woman, right? And everyone in the town, or at least their parents, both objectified to them marrying each other, right? Out of
Romeo
nowhere.
and Juliet.
Well, so that was crazy. Why would you relate to something way more popular? So the guy, he ends up marrying the girl. They fall in love. They have kids. They have 2 kids, and the guy is a salesman, so he goes away a lot, right? He ends up going away, and as he comes back over and over again, he notices that the lady, the lady notices that he's becoming less and less interested in her and more in just the kids, because they're her kid, right? So after a while, there's one day he comes back, I should say, and he comes back with a younger woman, right? And he tells the kids, hey, I'm gonna leave, like live out the rest of your life. You can always come and find me in this place, blah blah blah, right? So the lady loses her mind and she goes and she drowns her kids in the river, right? And she kills them. And in her desperation, she realizes that, like, oh my God, what have I done? And she goes to search for the kids, right? And she can't find them. And then only to find out later in the story that
Hold on, wait. She drowns them and then she goes looking for them?
she goes looking for them.
Their bodies or
Their
them
bodies
alive?
because they went down the river, right?
Okay.
So they go down the river, right? She loses her mind. She goes down the river, noticing she murdered her only children, right? Like, it doesn't matter whether the man loved her or not. Like, she murdered her only children, and she goes down the river, and then the town only come to find her later, drowned in the same river, down the river. Right?
Yeah.
And that lady gets up to the pearly gates and realizes that she will always be held in contempt for having drowned her own kids, so she'll never be led up to heaven, right? So she's forced to walk amongst the living. So the story is that if you go down near the
Don't
river,
fucking drown your children.
or don't,
Yeah, that's more of the story.
There's actually a lot of laws that say don't do that either. But
But most importantly,
Most importantly, don't bring a younger girl to your house. Bring older women.
that way they don't get as jealous.
No.
I would have to say that afterwards the town, and this is really scary because where my mom used to bring us when we were kids, there was a canal and a river and an empty canal that went under a bridge, right? But I guess you can always hear when near bridges, near like rivers that go down or through villages, they always say that you can hear a lady in a white veil coming by and saying, mis hijos, right? So basically like yelling like, my children, I can't find them, because it's the girl looking for her kids, and she will find wandering children. And they go, oh my God, Kevin! No.
I was like wondering, I was like, is Kevin going to scare me right now? What's
I was
happening?
trying to look for Kevin, but Kevin is basically, he knows all these crazy Filipino fucking things that suck. But yeah, like she tries to find her kids, and she'll find unsuspecting wandering kids and grab them and take them away. And that's a story that keeps little kids away from running water.
Or at least
you know?
variations of this.
Yeah,
It's an urban legend.
Yeah, so there's variations to that story, but you use that, like, if your little kids are gonna go run over by the river, you're gonna be like, La Llorona, like, you
Don't
know,
go there.
don't go there, because you'll hear someone weeping or someone weeping underneath the. My uncle actually used to go under the bridge and just cry there by accident, because I feel like he was just a real sad guy, but like a lot of people would confuse that with that, and I was just like, I think our time was
Dude,
like,
that's our uncle, bro.
yeah,
Tío, Juan.
Tío, ¿por qué está llorando así?
¿Qué estás haciendo? Ni tienes hijos, güey.
But I think my uncle that lived in Mexico, when he did that, I think he was just trying to fuck with us, because I think he was just like, you know, he just wanted to fuck with us. But I mean, now that's being adapted into an actual film, and I feel like a birthright to go see that film.
Really?
Why?
I feel insulted every time I see the damn
Really?
trailer, and it's like, La Llorona. In
It is and
theaters.
it is and it isn't, because it's been Americanized.
Right.
How is it Americanized? How do you
Not
know
Americanized, but it shouldn't even be in English. Fact.
Dope.
Fact.
The title is in Spanish. That
La
is true.
Llorona.
Yeah.
Like,
They're like, dude, we're gonna get to see like La Llorona, bro. You want that shit?
Yeah, I'll do that shit.
in essence, there is a English version of the Weeping Lady, and there's been versions like throughout, you know, the world and stuff, like of stories and shit that they've seen like a Weeping Lady.
Oh.
But the thing is, like, I feel like I don't know if it was part of a Mexican culture and then it just kind of transformed into something else.
What are they gonna do next at Cucuy?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
How do you feel about it? So you feel like they're just whitewashing this?
I feel like they are and they're
Damn,
not,
bro, you can't
because
say that
I don't know. I'd have to see the film first. I can't. I mean, I'm gonna have to see the film.
The film.
And then once I see it, we'll see. It'd have to be for another podcast. We'll do a little review.
Nah, that doesn't even.
That doesn't even tap.
Somewhat interests me. That's just stupid.
I'll still watch it because I don't
Why
know.
did you like this?
But you know what? It's funny though. Like the whole now that we're getting into the whole Hispanic culture and everything about that. Like, if you know, you guys, there's always so much like talk about witches and like them putting like spells on you and shit, and you fall in love and this and that.
Yeah.
Do you guys think there's any truth behind that? Do you think like that whole kind of voodoo kind of
I
stuff?
think
feel
there's a little
like
bit of
if
truth
you
to that.
really believe in your heart, I feel like to a certain degree, it's gonna fuck with your head, whether it's real or not. I feel like that's the way I feel it could be, like with that, or it can be with religion itself. That's just me personally.
Interesting. Yeah, because like in my upbringing, like my ancestors, I won't say who specifically, but someone was said to have been conceived in my lineage that was like with a, what is it? Brujera? What is it?
Oh, shaman?
Brujeria?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like a shaman, yeah.
Yeah, like he was
The
like a witch
shaman.
guy or whatever. And then like, suppose, I don't know, like stuff like that. I was like,
Yeah.
man, you,
I mean, that too. Like,
you fucked up. That's what it is.
but I feel like in Mexicans too, like they kind of like throw in that fear. It's like,
yeah.
oh, you know, you gotta go with the curandero. You gotta go with this guy. He's gonna help you, heal you. He's gonna throw a whole bunch of herbs on you, fucking smash an egg on your head,
Rub
and
an
be
egg.
like,
Yeah,
you're good. You know,
And we'll cover you up with oregano, put some eggs on you. I'm like, what am I gonna be?
You're good,
Chicken
baby.
scallopini? What the fuck is going on here?
some salsa, lick you up, baby. What's up?
What's
Yeah.
going on? All right, so
But I think for sure, I would.
Yeah, first thoughts.
I would definitely watch this. Give this a try for sure. I'm gonna go adamant with this because like me knowing and coming up with these stories, like growing up, especially because when you're younger, you're fucking scared and you're like, oh, La Llorona. That's how they get you, you know.
that's how they got you.
So it's like
How to get you.
I definitely gonna I really want to watch it. I'm really gonna want to like it, but we'll see. We'll see because I don't know. I feel like right now in the genre of like scary movies, it's kind of been lacking right now, to be honest. In the last couple of years,
Hispanic?
no, like
Oh.
in general.
Oh.
I mean,
scary
us,
movies in
us
general.
was like the last thing that came out that everyone was stoked for, and I thought it was a little mediocre. So
Which one?
us,
Us.
Yeah, that one was me. I mean, yeah, that
Yeah.
one didn't fill up. But I mean, you got It. Then the second one's coming out. That one looks pretty good. And then you got Child's Play coming out. That one looks
Yeah,
really
but
good.
they're all like, oh yeah,
Shazam. You guys already saw that, but next week we'll be covering on
Dude.
Shazam next week.
that. Yeah, next week. And then what else comes out next week? 100%. Well, obviously, Avengers movie. And
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
We didn't even talk about Tom Segura.
Yeah.
So let's
Bring
bring
that
it
up.
up. Tom Segura just came by.
So,
last
yeah,
Saturday.
this weekend, we all saw Tom Segura live
We all
in
went.
Chicago.
in Chicago.
And at the Chicago Theater,
Mhm.
and I had an amazing time. It was So first thoughts, Jose. You said that Tom Segura is a huge hip hop enthusiast, hip hop
Well, just
aficionado. That he said in our
Yeah.
show.
And I'm not sure how much like direction he has in what plays before or afterwards, but I mean that while we were sitting down waiting, there's just an old school like hip hop beat like vibe going on the whole time, and then when he pops out, he has "Steppin'" by Super Duper Humble come on, and I've been listening to that song like crazy. So if that he has any like pick on that song, it really hyped me up for him coming out. I mean, I know we're not gonna be able to repeat any of his jokes just to like stay like
I
cool.
will.
Oh, really? This is
I
taking
feel like
over- but I think he killed it out there. I feel like aside from like completely normal, going into mostly stories, going into his last one, which is wow, god damn it, I can't forget.
What, the name of the tour?
No, not the name
Special?
of the tour, but,
Disgraceful?
Disgraceful.
Yeah.
I think he's revving it up. He's playing on a lot of those old jokes.
Yeah.
He still has that Tom bite, like where it's like I feel like I have to watch out. Everything he says, like he's around the corner from just saying something crazy. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? And something that's like really keeping it now that you're on the edge of your toes. And I feel like all of our friend group has that same sense of comedy where it's like we say really bitey, like edgy stuff all the time. And he really
Even
plays
us
into that.
being on this show, we're pretty censored
Yeah.
for ourselves.
Yeah. But he really plays into it. What did you guys think? Do you think it?
I'll say this. I mean, I've seen Joe Rogan live. I just saw Bill Burr live not too long ago.
Yeah, we're at the same show. thing, right? Yeah.
No, I think we're different days. I think I was like the late show. I was super drunk.
Oh, different hours. Sorry, yeah.
But
Same day.
I do remember the quality, dude. Maybe I caught them early on and they were still trying bits out and stuff.
Mhm.
Tom Segura was like, man, it was like,
Spot on.
there was a moment there where I'm like laughing and I was just like, dude, it felt like I was like, dude, one day I'm going to be able to tell people like I saw a legend like Richard Pryor and like, you know, all those legends that they talk about now. Oh yeah, I saw him live or whatever. I feel like Tom Segura can get to that point.
Oh yeah,
dude. And then not only that, he did like 90 plus minutes.
Yeah,
I don't know if you
like
noticed.
an hour and a half.
Yeah, nobody. What the hell?
No, I
That was
noticed it
crazy.
because I looked at my watch a couple times. I'm like, he's flowing. It doesn't.
Yeah,
seem
he
like-
was
Dude, it was
killing.
perfect flow.
Yeah, he didn't seem like it was pulling out of his ass at all.
No.
Like, he was just landing them like one after another.
Timing too. Like he
yeah.
would wait and then he would hit you with another one. Like, and then there's like a moment there too where it's safe to say. I mean, like so he starts talking about jacking off, and I turn to my girl and I'm like, he's gonna fucking burn Louis C.K. I feel like he's gonna burn Louis C.K.
Yeah.
And then at the end he like says something about jacking off and everybody doesn't really laugh and he's like, oh, no Louis C.K. fans in here. And I was like, ah,
Nailed it,
dude.
Oh man, it was so good.
God damn, it was so good.
What do you think, Sergio?
I enjoyed it. I would say that I was not sober. So
Yeah, same, man.
I don't remember. I mean, I'm sure like if you guys would bring it up, I'd remember some of the jokes. But for the most part, from what I remember, I felt like to me it was new content because I don't really follow him. Like
It will be cool to see the next special and then hear some of the things he said and be like, oh shit, I was there for that. Like I know.
yeah, and it's always cool to see like a comedian where he's gonna set up a new joke in front of a new audience, and if total killer, you'll probably see it in the special.
Yeah.
Like I think it's cool, especially because I've seen it like with Gabriel Iglesias. He has a couple of jokes where he told it. You know, I've seen him live, and he told it first, and then you see it in the special like
Later on.
yeah,
It's
like a year
evolved,
later.
yeah.
But still, it's like
It's
wow,
evolved, yeah.
that's actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I genuinely enjoyed the show. He's fucking funny as fuck.
I feel like a lot of those jokes are going to be in the special. I feel like, I don't know. It feels like at this point he had it down to a T.
When will he be able to pull? Because he's been doing special like every other year. I mean, or every year. I feel like he's gonna pull this out of his ass. Like this year, like we'll see maybe something early next year. We'll see something.
Didn't you say something like in June he's going to come back to Chicago and he's going to like film a
Oh, he's
special or
gonna
something like
come back because of like our ability to fill that theater. Like
that? Oh, okay.
he's probably gonna film. He's probably gonna add a
I
second
might
show.
go see it again, dude.
So
Oh,
good
yeah,
show
good.
for sure.
Yeah,
I think I would see him again.
yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like
if I had money.
Chicago has mad love for Tom. Like I feel like I went to go see him at the Vic, and before that I used to see him. Saw him at Park West. Like it's like we filled a super small fucking place for him, and now he filled the Chicago theater 2 times.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
back.
It's
Yeah.
like I mean Joe Rogan's filling up some pretty big places too, but I mean like how long before we see Tom filling up stadiums? Man?
Yeah.
Like it's like he's on.
That's what I'm saying. Like there was
Yeah,
a
he's
moment
on
there where
the
I was
path,
like, dude, this guy is like, I mean, like I saw the same brilliance in like Richard Pryor, you know, like big names. Like even Louis C.K. before the whole thing went out. He was great.
definitely.
I do want to throw out one of your guys' jokes that you made. I don't know if it was you, David, that made this or Sergio, but one of you guys said, it's like, hey man, it's like there's a lot of white people out here for a Peruvian.
That's funny, Sergio.
Yeah,
Was that
was
you?
me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I-
funny because you know people they forget like he's Peruvian. Right?
And
Yeah.
that he's fluent in Spanish.
I was
Yeah.
gonna
Like
say
that
there was a
last
joke,
bit that
the
he
bit that he
did.
did where
His mom, like I was telling
Yeah.
him, I'm like he could have totally done that in Spanish.
Yep.
And it totally would have worked.
He's been working on the set in
Like it
Spanish.
totally would have worked.
Really?
In Spanish.
Yeah, he's been
Like-
working with Felipe Esparza. He's been asking him for tips and stuff. And
on
like,
a full blown set in Spanish.
he said that he's done it a couple times on his podcast. He was saying
Dope.
that he's getting it like somewhat down. I was like, dude,
I would go.
love
I
to
would
see
go to
that.
one of those.
I would love
Yeah.
to take my dad to see that.
Yeah.
But no, that bit, there was a bit where he's talking about that he got sent to, because he used to go to He used to go to Peru when he was like a kid and go to school there. Do you remember that or no?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I remember that.
And
Yeah, I
the
remember that.
teacher put him in front
I
of
do
everybody and
remember
they had
that.
all the students ask him stuff. And then I forgot what the
They were
joke.
bullying him, I think.
Yeah, they like asked him like how many times you jack off, and then he's like, and he said it in Spanish, he's like, si pienso en tu mamá hasta 7 veces, and I was just like laughing, and everybody's like, what the fuck was that? What did he say? And then he translates it like, you know, oh, if I think about your mom, up to 7 times, and I was just like, and then everybody starts cracking up.
Yeah. No, I mean it's really good stuff. Even if you look at Tom's old stuff, like he has a lot of great like like Spanish stuff, even ranging from this time that he goes to the comedy store and talks to the guy that's in the parking lot grabbing his car. Or he asks him like, "Hey," in Spanish, like, "I'm gonna go in there. I'm gonna talk to this guy. I'll come back out. I'll take some money out of the ATM. I'll give you some shit." Blah, blah, blah.
Oh yeah. You know, pay.
You know
that. I know that.
I still use
You know
that.
go.
I still use that. And I won't blow the whole bit, but I mean, it's a super great bit, and I mean, I really appreciate him having the knowledge and like the ability to kind of nail Spanish that way. On the comedy floor, I know he can speak Spanish perfectly well, but but Spanish comedy. I mean, now with the comedians around the world, like, there is every type of comedy out there. I feel like even Joe Rogan just had this guy on there that's one of the guy innovating like stand-up comedy in Brazil. Yeah, and that was super interesting for me to hear. Because as someone who aspires to be like a stand-up comedian, I would say like that's like innovative, right? That's like a guy taking it back to a place where it's like, if you've really ever done open mic, it's like you do open mic in the shittiest spots. Like a spots where it's like a guy with an acoustic guitar and then you're up there and you're trying to say jokes in front of people that are like, shut the fuck up. Like it's pretty funny.
Especially in a country like Brazil where it's all about honor and like, you know, you say something like that, like, dude, I'm gonna like stab you in the fucking face.
Yeah.
You can't say shit like that.
Yeah. Say
yeah. It's crazy.
All right. So good.
So last one. You guys threw down a bet last week, right? For the thing. Who won?
I won, bro. I always win. That's what
Did you win?
No, I didn't win.
What was the bet?
I have something about the lights. The one that you didn't really pay full price anyways.
How about we just have it like that person just buys aux extender?
How about you suck my dick, Kevin? Anyways, so yeah, you won that. You won that.
You don't even have to ask.
Yeah, that was a pretty good fight though.
I think he's talking about the one where I was supposed to pay for these lights, but I didn't because we split them 3 ways. What is? Oh, we'll talk about that afterwards.
You lost
but
I'll buy.
Wait, let's just talk about the bet. So you won this bet this time?
Well,
is that what happened?
On the side, we never really talked about the UFC last time. These fights that just came by, world championship fights. Like I'm talking about, these were both. I didn't even know that. Like at the end of the day, I didn't give a shit if these were for interim belts. These fucking fights were legendary. We had Israel Adesanya fight Kevin Gastelum for 5 rounds.
Adesanya.
And almost put this guy out there. And dude, my heart goes out. I will watch a Kevin Gastelum fight live for the rest of my life.
I was going to say, you can say whatever the fuck you want, but my bets were pretty damn. They almost came through and shit. Yeah. Well, at least on the Kevin Gastelum.
Kevin Gastelum had him rocked really early. And I feel like that only proves that Adesanya is going to be a champion moving forward. Because if you can get a rock like that and stand up, the guy's got a chin. He's not going to fall down on any. What?
Yeah.
All right.
What did you say? Oh, yeah. I was agreeing.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I thought you said another word.
I don't know. I feel like Yoel Romero might give him a really hard test, but continue.
Oh, jeez. Yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that Yoel Romero could demolish somebody.
I come for you, my friend.
I love you.
We'll see
and then the other fight, Dustin Poirier.
Dude, okay, that one I do have to give you props. Dustin Poirier came out, man, that guy.
Swing.
Dude, he looks so goddamn sharp.
You see Babe Ruth that shit? Like he just like he goes like he points at him like that. And I know it was in like contesting like the knee that I think he threw at Max Holloway's face. But he even said afterwards, he's like, got ya. Like it's like
when he fucking split his head open.
Yeah, split his head open. He goes like this, and then he tucks into the pocket and starts rocking with him again. So it's just the slight conversation.
But it wasn't wild. That's the thing. He was like very calculated. His angles were like super sharp. Boom. Yeah. And then I didn't even know that he's like in the same team as Jorge Masvidal.
They all rap American Top Team. Dude. Yeah. Those guys are all killers over there. Yeah. I mean, you have certified killers over there. It's amazing to see those fights advance. I mean, like I said, I did not at any point during that, if you told me like, these are all for interim belts, I don't care. I don't give a shit. I got 5-round fights. Dana White pointed that out like multiple times. Like, would you have rather had 2 dudes fighting in 3-round fights for the main events, or would you have rather had 2 5-round fight wars? And that ended up being some of the biggest wars you've ever seen.
Seriously.
And I mean, if you put it in perspective, I feel like even going for the number 1 contender spot, if you're going to rock for the number 1 contender spot, you should fight 5 rounds. Yeah, I mean, main events are always 5 rounds, right? Mm-hmm. So it's like that was a great addition. But if you're gonna fight for like anybody that's like in the top 5 or top number 1 contender spot, like it should be 5 rounds, regardless of whether it's a co-main event. So it's like, I don't know. I mean, 5 rounds is just, it offers more room for these types of battles. I mean, this week coming up, I'm not really that familiar with the card just because the only one I really know is like Olsnik versus Overeem in Russia. It's going to be like a midday card. It's not as exciting. But I mean, this past Saturday just blew it out of the water.
Yeah.
Guaranteed.
What do you think about Israel Adesanya and John Jones talking shit to each other on Twitter?
I think that's a long time and far away for those people to put that in perspective. Adesanya is too light to go up to 205 and not get demolished by. Doesn't
Israel Adesanya sparred with Rumble Johnson, and he gave him a pretty look. Did you see the footage? There's footage there. Fucking interesting stuff. Yeah, pretty good.
How much weight does he have to cut, or John Jones have to cut to come out down to 205?
No idea.
Right, because it's the same amount of fucking scrutiny that I have for Luke Rockhold going to 205. When he didn't really look like he was running around trying to cut to 170 and it hurt him that hard. I mean, it was painful. It was painful. I understand, but it was like it didn't kill him the way that 170 kills Joel Romero.
That's what's so interesting about the Luke Rockhold fight now in this weight division. I feel like there's a possibility that we might see like a whole nother level of his.
And, you know where?
Even though I don't like him, he's a dick. I don't like the way.
I think he should stay at 170 and watch Joel Romero go back up to 205 and try to whomp on some dudes. Like, you know, like I really feel like that's what he needs to do.
Joel Romero?
Joel Romero, like go up and wait. Yeah.
Okay.
Like I feel like Joel Romero needs to go up and wait.
I mean, I feel like he still can.
He's missed
go
weight
another run for
the
time,
last two
especially
times.
Israel Adesanya. I feel like he could. We'll see what happens.
He can't make the weight. He just can't.
Because he missed with Robert Whittaker that one time?
He's missed multiple times at that weight.
Like 2 times?
3 times.
Who?
Joel Romero.
Against who?
Both times against Robert, right? Or no?
I don't think it was both times.
I know he's missed like 3 times on that weight. He's notorious for doing this. And I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong.
I'm not sure.
But I'm pretty sure. But he should go up a weight class. Guaranteed. If the guy comes in looking like death, he looks like Connor when he used to like drop to 145. He just looks like dog shit. Like,
well, he's old, yeah.
Yeah, like he can't be dropping that. He needs to go up and weight and start whipping on some dudes because Joel Romero is like a formidable opponent and a great fighter. Like he doesn't need to like have this crazy weight advantage over the people. Like he's a great fighter either way.
I don't like the weight classes at all. I feel like they should just go with like their hydration levels, like 1FC has been doing it, where they test their hydration levels.
There's ways to cheat that no matter what. I mean, I feel like the correct answer, and I mean, I'm sorry to beat the dead horse on this, is to just throw another weight class in there and really spread them out.
Yeah, about that. I mean, I did read an article that like Dana White is reluctant to add more weight classes.
So right now we have the 145, right? The 155 pound, right? And then from 155, it shoots up to 170, right? So that's a quick math. quick math.
Quick math.
I mean, that's a sorry, that was me.
He said that he re-signed a 7-year contract deal with ESPN, so there won't be any new weight divisions regardless for the next 7 years.
Oh,
that's what he said. I don't know. A lot of things that
7 years later.
A lot of things that he says doesn't really happen, so I don't know. He's like, there will never be women in UFC. It's like Ronda Rousey comes in, and he like keeps saying, "There's never be this and that." It's like it happens immediately.
I mean, if there's money in it. I mean, the thing is, like here, like you have the 155 like weight division just crowded up, right? It's got killers in it: Dustin Poirier, Conor McGregor.
What do you think about that? What do you think? Who do you think Dustin Poirier? I mean, like he's set up next to fight Khabib, but you got Conor McGregor saying he was like talking. He's always tweeting and saying stuff.
I mean, I think you have Tony Ferguson ready to fight again. He just got offered another fight. They told him for a fight week maybe. They say that he's ready to go. You have 4 certified killers in the top 5 for lightweight, and you got Justin Gaethje in there. Like it's insane.
They're saying that Justin Gaethje got offered a fight to
fight Conor McGregor.
Yeah,
for what? The number 1 contender spot.
Really? Didn't he just get rocked?
Who?
Justin Gaethje just rocked Edson Barboza, which is not an easy task. He destroyed him in the first round. So
be easy on him. He's
no. I mean, destroyed him. It's all right. No, Edson Barboza will bounce back from that easy. I mean, Edson Barboza. I mean, I don't think he could ever make 145. But it's like, I mean, so the thing I wanted to point out earlier is like there's a big weight gap between 155 and 170.
Yeah.
Right. So I mean, what if you in the next weight class above that is 185? So why wouldn't you just interject to throw in 165 and it's 145, 165, 175, and 185. And you just add a weight class, right?
Yeah.
So then you just have a bunch of people go up and down, and a lot of people are going to be a little bit more easy to fight at their own weight range and not have to cut. I mean, some of these fighters, they'll cut weight.
I feel like they should do that, but they should also do the hydration test.
I don't think the hydration test will solve anything.
Why is that?
Because I feel like there's ways to cheat that too.
How so?
There is. I mean, that's like there's ways that you could sit in there, like hydrate right before going. I mean, I don't know the science behind it. I'm not gonna claim that I do.
Okay.
But for me, it's better for somebody who naturally can get to 155 and 165 to go down there for the day and come back up to his natural weight.
They weigh them and then they check what their hydration levels are. There's like no way to cheat it.
Is there not? We'll come back on this on the second one, but I'll have a list of ways to cheat it.
Okay.
All right.
You don't have that now.
No, I don't.
So you're saying that.
I know it's based on other people's opinions. I'm
Who's
pretty
these
upfront
people?
about this. I listen to a lot of podcasts.
The people you talk to or people in podcasts?
I talk to a lot of homeless people by the river.
Where is this coming
They
from?
all have a lot of great ideas. No, I've heard it through a lot of podcasts that there's also ways to there's always
Talking about
ways to cheat.
Demetrius Johnson? Or are we talking about?
No, I'm just saying there's a lot of ways to cheat any given system. But cheating the system now is like right now it's like saying that I say I weigh 155. But the 3 days beforehand, I dehydrate myself to the point where I can gain 15 to 20 pounds back within a day and a half to go fight. Right? That's a huge weight difference. Right?
Okay.
So do you really weigh 155? Like is what I'm asking. All right. So we need to get people to say that they're a little bit more comfortable in going into that middle point, because the middle point between 170 to 145 to 155, those fighters are kind of stuck in a weird limbo. And if you added another weight class, you'd kind of diversify the groups there.
That is true.
I think
You're saying that they're gonna cut weight and then weigh in? What are you saying exactly?
for the hydration test?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Why you're still on this? I told you.
Oh, is that what
you?
I thought you were talking about?
No. I'm talking about adding another weight class so people don't feel
right.
as
I got you. All right, we're on the same page.
People don't feel as like they're being forced to fight at 155 when really they weigh at walking around they walk at 170 and they can actually really cut down to 165.
Oh, yeah.
Or go up.
Yeah, or go up. You know, that's what I'm saying.
In reality, it's just like a dude that's like 185 fighting at 160 or whatever, but it's just basically like they're both the same weight. It's just now they're all super dehydrated. So it's more like who can get to rehydration faster, which is normally the younger guy.
And now they took away IVs, so you can't just
Yeah, and then IVs is why Conor McGregor doesn't do his weight cut anymore, because they took out IVs. A lot of people didn't do it anymore. They jumped weight classes because the whole IV thing was like how they were getting down that fast.
Wow.
Yeah, because they would just get off the thing and start IVing off the stage after the weight.
Right, and it
soon
got
as they're
them
done.
faster.
Yeah, because have you seen them how before weigh-in, it's like they're covered in a whole bunch of shit.
Yeah, they're like dying on the
Fucking
scale.
dying, yeah. I saw a whole video of like this guy prepping just for the weigh-in, and he lost that. I think the day of, he lost like 15 pounds. Like literally, he was still like inside, covered, like in his hotel room, in the bathtub.
You should see Chris Cyborg's weight cut. She's like crying and stuff. It's
Really?
really rough, yeah. That was like the one.
To make 145? Chris Cyborg, the woman? Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know which weight class she was trying to make, but yeah, she was like
I think
crying.
featherweight. That's 145, I think.
Okay. So yeah, I don't know. She was like going through a lot of shit though.
Damn. That's insane.
Yeah.
All right. Kev?
All right. So, yeah, that was it for our topics for today. Let us know what you guys think about what we did on the show. Some topics you might want to hear. Drop a like, leave some comments, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week.
Hello and welcome to the show of the SNP podcast. I would like to introduce you into our co-host, David, the rock'n'roller.com.
Bipolar rock and roller. What's up, motherfuckers?
Yeah.
Josie. AKA Limp Brisket. AKA Ring a Ding Ding. Here come my ding-a-ling.
Shut up! Shut up!
AKA
Faggy